The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Sprite, obey your thirst. And by America Online New Version 6.0. Never been a better time to sign up. Call 1-800-4-ONLINE today.
This week, the Sixers' Dikembe Mutombo became the first player in NBA history to be named Defensive Player of the Year 4 times. And right now, Dikembe is standing by with Peter Vesey.
Thanks, Ahmad. Now, in today's papers, you all but guaranteed a victory for your team. What makes you so sure? It seems like the pressure should be on you guys.
I think we don't have a pressure at all, Vesey. We just so calm. We know what we got to do to win this game, so we just going to come out and play hard.
And get the ball to Allen.
Yes, we know we're going to put the ball to Allen, and if they double team, we're going to get our shooter ready and go inside and just pound them.
Thanks a lot. We're going to beam it over to Andrea.
All right, thanks, Peter. With Jalen Rose, you guys did a great job smothering Iverson in the first game. He explodes for 45 in game 2. How do you prevent him from having another game like that?
Well, basically like everybody else in the league does. Hope he misses shots. But in all honesty, we just got to play him hard, double team him, and be aware of where he is at all times. But the main thing is finding a way to win the game.
Happy birthday to your mom.
Happy birthday, Ma. I love you.
All right, back to you, Ahmad.
All right, thank you very much, Andrea. This voice thing is catchy. Mutombo sounds like us, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Now, what about Reggie Miller? Had a great first half the last game. Then all of a sudden...
Game 1, his heroics were at the end of the game. I think his strategy in Game 2 was he knew it was going to be emotional. He had to keep his team in the game early in Game 2. So he went out, and he's probably he overspent himself in the first half of Game 2, didn't have a lot left in the second half. Reggie's getting a little older. He has to pace himself a little bit differently. So look today for him to be steady and consistent, but really being geared up for the end of the stretch.
The Sixers play on the road, but they're a very good road team.
I'm upset. I want to go to my board. We were going to knock my board out of the show here. That's it. I'm going over.
You're going to the board?
Going to the board.
Okay.
Got to go to here. Philly needs to get to the free throw line, Ahmad. I don't even need a throw. Philly lives on the line. Zeke said they were able to keep AI off in Game 1. They didn't do it in Game 2, and they haven't been able to do it all year. Indiana needs to make three-point shots. They take so many more than Philly, but they haven't shot a good percentage yet. They can't win if they don't make their three-pointers. Play to win. Peter Vesey and Dikembe talked about that. I think the pressure is on Philly. They're playing not to lose. In Game 2, they played to win. If they lay it out like that today, they're going to be all right.
Hey, but, PJ, what about the Sixers being a good road team? Where I asked you that before you walked away from here and went over there.
Well, I didn't hear the question. They're yelling at me, come over here to the board. I think they are an excellent road team, but I was going to make the point before Game 1, Indiana's a lousy road team, and they went into Philly and won, so don't get me predicting anymore.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, PJ. Great job.
I thought he did it on his own. Somebody told him to go over there.
He's a coach. He's supposed to be able to react on his own.
Coming up next, it's the Sixers against the Pacers, and we'll send you out to Indiana in just a moment. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
We're coming in here to shock the world.
NBC Sunday, 8/7 Central.
He's running, folks.
We got a fugitive.
Tommy Lee Jones, Wesley Snipes, Robert Downey Jr.
This is a ruthless killer.
I did not do what they said I did.
The network premiere that picks up where the fugitive left off.
Turn around!
You're going to have to shoot me.
U.S. Marshals, NBC Sunday, 8/7 Central.
Get an edge on savings at Menards. Keep gardens and flower beds looking neat and trim with Mastermark Lawn Edging. A 20-foot roll is on sale, $199. 40 feet of extra heavy contractor-grade edging is $9.99. Handy home storage sheds come pre-cut and ready to assemble. Plus, shingles, a pre-cut floor, and fasteners are all included. This 8x8-foot shed is on sale, $399. Find a storehouse of savings at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Just imagine. The all-new Civic from Honda is the only car in its class to achieve a 5-star safety rating in every category. Amazing, but true. The all-new Civic, part of the Special Value Collection, now at your Honda dealer.
Looks like you got a little nick there.
What, this? It's nothing.
Maybe we should get it looked at.
Or maybe we should go get a delicious Mike's Hard Lemonade instead.
You're on.
A hard day calls for a hard lemonade. Make it Mike's.
Watch Marion, Mark, Mike, and Brandt weekdays at 4:30.
We are just about set for a pivotal Game 3 as Allen Iverson, coming off his best playoff game ever, leads the Sixers into Indiana to take on Reggie Miller, Jalen Rose, and the Pacers. So let's send you out to the heartland of basketball as we head to Conseco Fieldhouse and join my main man, Bob Costas, and Steve Snapper Jones.
All right, Amada, this is the Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, the retro-style home of the Pacers and home, too, to some of the most rabid fans in the NBA. At the start of this series, the smart money might have said that the 8th-seeded Pacers would just be coming home to conclude their season against the top-seeded 76ers. Instead, they are hoping to push Larry Brown, Allen Iverson and company to the brink of elimination with a victory today. With the snapper, Steve Jones, I'm Bob Costas. Welcome to Indianapolis. It all turned a week ago today when, coming back from 18 points down, the Pacers managed to win Game 1, and they did it in familiar fashion near the buzzer with Reggie Miller.
Yeah, you know, Bob, and that should be evidence that Reggie Miller is perhaps the greatest long-distance shooter in the history of the NBA during the playoffs. Well, you need visual proof in '94. 25 points against the Knicks to help them win that ball game. In '95, in the conference semis, 8 points in 8.9 seconds. In the '98 conference finals against Jordan and the Bulls, the game winner. And then last weekend, a heartbreaker for Allen Iverson and the Philadelphia 76ers. Reggie Miller is a great spotlight performer, and you see his numbers in this year's playoffs. It tells you the bigger the moment, the better he plays.
Then in Game 2 on Tuesday night in Philadelphia, he comes out sizzling in the first half, 33 points before intermission on 13 of 15 shooting. Did the 76ers have an answer? It turned out they did.
Well, they've always said they have the answer, and Allen Iverson turned out to be that. Allen Iverson played a controlled ball game in the first half and found ways to try to get not only himself involved, but his teammates involved. And then in the third quarter, he stepped up his offensive energy and efforts with his perimeter game, his ability to get inside and to make it the big shot, and that was all the difference in the ball game. Iverson may not be as spectacular today, but Allen Iverson certainly knows what he has to do in order for his team to win. You see the dramatic difference between games 1 and 2. The answer is still in Philadelphia.
Allen Iverson and his teammates getting ready for Game 3. When Iverson was introduced, resounding boos from this crowd at Conseco Fieldhouse. We're back with the starting lineups and the opening tip-off for Game 3 from Indianapolis after this.
Abundant power, rugged real-time four-wheel drive, and a deceptively large amount of headroom.
Hi. We just wanted to let you know your blinker's been on.
The CR-V from Honda.
Hey.
Hey, what you got there?
Just the finalists for NBCI.com's live surprise contest.
This is where the person gets 30 seconds to surprise someone on live TV, right?
Mm-hmm. Live during your show ad every Wednesday in May, 8, 7 Central.
So you can put someone on live TV where anything can happen and trust that everything's going to be okay?
Yeah.
Pray that it all works out?
Yes.
Hope it's going to be fine?
Yeah.
You're on your own.
There's a live surprise in Ed every Wednesday in May on NBC.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Never miss a genuine opportunity. By Honda, a winning lineup of cars, sport utility vehicles, and minivans. And by Pep Boys, cars like us, people love us. The starting lineups for Game 3.
I played with both teams, Philadelphia and Indiana.
No changes for the 76ers. A change in the middle for the Pacers. John Tabak had started the first 2 games. He had his first 3 shots blocked in Game 1 by Mutombo. Then in Game 2, he had 1 rebound and 1 basket. He's been replaced as the starting center by the second-year man from Southwest Texas State, Jeff Foster, who is among the NBA leaders in rebounds per minute played. Let's check in with Andrea Joyce.
All right, Bob, even though the Pacers have been one of the top dogs in the East the last couple of years, they're in the unfamiliar role of being the underdog in this series. Now, only twice in NBA history has the number 8 seed upset the number 1 seed. But the Pacers are not buying into that label. As Jalen Rose has pointed out to everyone, we are still the defending Eastern Conference champions, not some novelty act. And as he told us the other day, I love our chances in this series. Now, on the injury front, I just spoke to Travis Best a couple of minutes ago, and he says that his back is better than it has been all week. In fact, he's wearing a smaller, less cumbersome back brace, which he says is good, since the back brace that he wore for games 1 and 2 kind of felt like he had a python wrapped around him. So he's a little more mobile here today. Back to you, Bob.
All right, Andrea. The Pacers made it at least as far as the conference finals 5 of the last 7 years. So their mindset is much different, as Andrea said, than your usual number 8 seed. They eliminated the 76ers from the playoffs each of the last 2 years. Last year in 6, the year before that, they swept them.
Well, you know, for the Sixers, they feel that this is their holy grail. This is their real passing the torch test, and they beat this team. They feel that all of the pressure will be off their back, so they come in here this afternoon with a whole lot to prove and a little bit of attitude. So we'll see if they're the aggressors throughout the ball game, because if they are, then they should have the advantage.
76ers won in this building twice during the regular season. In fact, they won all 3 regular season meetings with the Pacers. The Sixers had the best road record in the NBA this year at 27-14. Iverson on Best.
Key in this ball game is, can the Indiana Pacers get some cheap inside stuff? They're mostly a perimeter team, as you see the Sixers trying to up that defensive energy. 7 on the clock.
Best into the lane, tough shot. Mutombo bothered it, and here come the 76ers. Iverson weaving his way through traffic.
You know, they talked a lot about getting Mutombo involved in the game, but unless he has a solo side to work on, it's difficult for Mutombo to get scores. They got to get him the ball on the move and in some sort of rhythm. Misses his first chance. Here's a guy that's got to step up, and if Jalen Rose gets off the mark quickly, that'll make life much easier for the Pacers. Back-to-back opportunities, missed them both.
And Tyrone Hill takes it for Philadelphia. Iverson had it knocked away by Best, and then it's kicked away inadvertently by Reggie Miller. So it's still Philly ball. Best tells us that he feels he has the quickness when he's healthy to stay with Iverson. He's been battling a sore back.
Well, he is quick, but nobody really can stay with Iverson simply because of the volume of times he has the ball and the pressure that he puts on you. He got nicked up with fouls. Great pass. O'Neal too late for the block.
Goaltending on Jermaine O'Neal. Score the basket for Eric Snow. In addition to all of his scoring exploits, Iverson has been averaging 8 assists a game through the first 2 in this series. And he picks one up there. Snow on Miller. Reggie kicked it away, but into the hands of Best. Jalen Rose is now 0 for 3, but now is 1 for 4 as he follows his own shot.
And they've got to be able to get in that area right there and get some high percentage shots. You saw Philadelphia get a cutting Snow to the hoop. They're a better team when they move the ball, move people, get the higher percentage shot. Hill inside.
Working against Foster and missing, but Lynch follows.
They're also the better rebounding team. That's why Foster's in the line.
Miller fires the three. The all-time leader in three-pointers made gives the Pacers the lead at 5-4.
Now, when they are good defensively at attacking Iverson, it's when they get him on the wing. Lynch
got the roll.
You know, and they were able to trap him. He got that ball just away, and Lynch carried it in. 4 points in the quarter for George Lynch.
Here's Foster, mismatched with Snow. Coming over to block it is Mutombo, but it's goaltending. So score the basket for Jeff Foster.
And you know, Reggie Miller, he is going to be looking to strike from deep, and he's going to be looking to strike often. They don't look for many chances from Jeff Foster, but a goaltending gets him on the board.
Interception by Rose, cutting in front of Iverson, and he's gone.
Good passing lane defense that time by Jalen Rose to produce the easy hoop. And, you know, the crowd is excited by that kind of defensive attitude. See if the Pacers can keep it up the entire ball game.
Eric Snow, one-time backup to Gary Payton in Seattle. Just really found a niche in Philadelphia. Here's Iverson. It spins out, and Reggie Miller has the rebound. Foster on the run, couldn't quite handle it, but Philadelphia touched it last off the hands of Tyrone Hill.
Well, this was the story of the game last night with Charlotte, and maybe these guys watched the game. Not only did he steal the ball, a little pork chop in the nose and a little razzle-dazzle on the finishing end for Jalen Rose.
Here's Reggie. Foster trying to keep it alive into the hands of Snow. Iverson against Best. And a foul on the play. The game's first whistle. It comes from Hugh Evans, working with Ron Elysiak and Mike Callahan.
Crowd boos, but this is the kind of pressure that Travis Best has to face. With Iverson coming full speed, he's got to be able to stay in front of him, somehow hope that he gets the charge, and this time he doesn't.
Iverson being serenaded by the crowd and missing the first.
You see the numbers and the amount of time that Reggie Miller has to put out on the floor, and the question is, how much gas does he have in the tank? These are regular numbers for Allen Iverson. This is the guy that doesn't like to come out of the game. What kind of song is this crowd singing to Iverson, Bob?
I can't quite make it out, but I know it's not pleasant. Iverson tied Michael Finley of Dallas for highest average minutes played per game at 42. Here's Travis Best. That pops out. Miller is there battling with Mutombo, and a foul on the play.
Reggie Miller is not noted for being a great offensive rebounder, but in this series, he's managed to sneak inside on a couple of occasions and come up with some second opportunities. And this really was part of his game in game two, getting offensive rebounds, putting the ball back in.
Foul on Eric Snow, his first. Miller, the league's leading free throw shooter, better than 90%. A moment ago, we saw that he'd averaged 44 minutes through the first two games. Isaiah Thomas told us that he calculated that based on the fact that there are many off days in this first round series, and also, although there are no more timeouts during a playoff telecast in regular season, the timeouts tend to last longer. So he felt that he could play some of his regulars heavier minutes in the first two games.
Well, you know, in these situations, Reggie doesn't like to come out. I don't care if he's dog tired anyway. He's going to say, let me stay out there. Just the fact that I'm out on the floor is going to create problems for the opposition. Mutombo again.
Hook over O'Neal. And Jermaine O'Neal takes the rebound. Miller for three. Overshot it. Foul on the rebound. And it will go against the Pacers.
Jeff Foster.
And it's Foster's first.
One of the things that Tyrone Hill knows, Jeff Foster knows, they know what they do best. And Foster will get a lot of fouls trying to get rebounds, but Isaiah Thomas can live with that.
Best trying to contend with Iverson. Lynch's pass through the lane deflected, and another Indiana steal. Started cold, now heating up. Missed his first three, he's hit his next three. And Philadelphia asked for time. The Pacers off to a 6-point lead.
Game 7, 2. Fourth quarter, Lakers are down by 5. Chase, base.
Guys, switch to Mach 3. 3 blades for the closest shave in a single stroke. You'll love the difference. And so will we. Mach 3. From Gillette.
I don't know if this is such a good idea. Come on, we only have a few more miles to go.
What if people treated you the way you treat your car?
Suck it up! Let's go!
Treat your car right with new 35,000-mile tires, 4 for just $99. All you need to know is where to go. Pep Boys.
Hey, wow. I'm really impressed. You got Michelob Light.
All imported hops give Michelob Light a smooth, satisfying taste you won't find in an ordinary beer.
This is great.
Beer or Michelob Light.
So, Jenny, there'll be chaperones at this dance, right?
Yes, Dad.
Well, I hope you two have a good time tonight.
Don't worry. I know how to treat my ladies.
You out.
With second row seats that conveniently slide apart, it's beyond the minivan. The Odyssey from Honda.
Because of the way the schedule generally is, basketball players tend to be nocturnal. This game started at 11:40 a.m. local time. Jalen Rose told us yesterday he was considering everything to get to bed early. Hot bath, warm milk, someone playing a harp at the foot of his bed, anything so he could get some sleep. Well, he might have had a little sand in his eyes for the beginning of the game. He missed his first three, but the alarm came and he's hit his next three.
So who do you think he knows that plays a harp?
I have no idea. Harpo Marx isn't with us anymore, is he?
Larry Brown calls a timeout. What he's trying to tell his team, get your energy level up and don't worry about your offense. Just continue to play, come up with a loose ball, and do what you do best. Another turnover.
Jeff Foster scrambling, but it winds up in Lynch's hands. Here's Snow open. Mutombo pushed off. That's his first.
Mutombo seemed shot, but Brown's got to see him continue to attack the board to give them second chances. As they're not getting the easy, quick opportunity as they did in game 2. But they've got to fight through it. They've got to stay in the ball game despite the energy of Indiana and the crowd.
O'Neal challenged to shoot it, misses. Best, smallest man on the floor. Even giving away an inch or two to Iverson, gets the rebound. O'Neal working on Mutombo again, and a foul on the play.
Eric Snow, and he comes out holding his head, saying, how, why? That's going to get Eric Snow out of the ball game. He's headed toward the bench, not happy with the call. Miller, Snow, not much contact there. Not enough, and I'm like Eric Snow, a bit surprised at the whistle.
Mutombo thought at first it might have been on him. Instead, it's Snow's second. He's replaced by Aaron McKee. Miller comes off the screen, and it spins out. Look at Foster battling on the offensive glass, but he can't quite control it. Now it's Rose on Iverson, who slips past him. Jalen ahead to Miller. Miller against McKee. Lays it in.
This is what they didn't get at the beginning of the game, an attacking defense that produced some easy transition hoops. Miller, 7 1/4.
McKee's basket ends a 10-1 Indiana run.
Well, one thing the Sixers know, they can get off the floor, they can play from the rear, they've got to stay in the ball game, maintain contact. 6-point game.
Tyrone Hill is on Miller. They'll set it back up with Best. Jeff Foster can't hit it. Mutombo against O'Neal. Finally hits that hook shot.
You know, he needs room to work, and he finally got a good rhythm on that last bounce to get that one up and down.
Iverson hasn't found the range yet. One of Miller's 2 baskets is a 3. He's also hit a couple of free throws.
6 on the clock for Bell.
O'Neal looking for the handle, 2 seconds to shoot, 24-second violation.
You know, the one thing about big guys, they've got to be able to see that ball and able to catch it. Mutombo, watch, big shot coming across, and then the rhythm jump. That's what allows him to make that shot. If he can't get that rhythm, then he's going to have a tough time knocking that shot down.
Mutombo, for the 4th time, the NBA's Defensive Player of the Year, led the league in rebounding and chipped in, averaging 10 points a game. McKee gets into the paint, but overshoots it. The rebound to Jermaine O'Neal. Iverson guarding Reggie. Lynch over on the double team. Jalen Rose on the drive. Banked it high. Foster is there to follow. Indiana all over the offensive glass in this first quarter.
And that is why Foster is in the game. He's a very good rebounder. He'll chase misses. But did you see how high Jalen Rose put that shot up, knowing Mutombo was coming?
Indiana has 11 missed shots and 5 offensive rebounds.
Jalen Rose high off the window, and watch Foster. He's got a nose for the ball, gets it back up with the left hand, 4 points in the first quarter, and he was supposed to be that ceremonial starting center for Isaiah Thomas.
Tyrone Hill out. Jermaine Jones comes in. Jones had 26 points and 13 rebounds last week of the regular season against the Pacers. Neither team was playing for much at that point. Playoff positions locked in. McKee bumped before the shot. Foul will be on Jalen Rose.
Rose, like Eric Snow, does not agree with the contact call, but bumping and bodying all the way, and said, why can't we play like the centers? You know, you saw Mutombo, you saw O'Neal. Let me play that way. Looking for McKee again.
First foul on Rose. Here is McKee to Lynch out of the double, and George Lynch connects.
That's the shot that they got a lot of. Medium range jump shot, 8 to 12 feet. They haven't gotten many here in the first part of the ball game. Lynch with 6.
And he's hit all 3 shots he's taken. Miller, the fake on McKee. A 2-point attempt is there. 9 points for Miller.
His hands aren't glowing like they were in game 2, but he's pretty hot.
13 of 15 in the first half of game 2. They did a very good job denying him looks in the second half, and he shot just 1 of 7. Wound up with 41 points.
When they get him on the wing, that's when the trap is most effective. 4 on the clock for Iverson.
Mutombo leaning in, and he was fouled. Before he comes to the free throw line, we step aside. 2:19 to play in the first. Indiana by 6.
America's Air Force has a plane so advanced it dominates everything in the air. Yet on radar, it's as small as a bird. The meanest, baddest bird on the planet. Join the team that keeps us flying. America's Air Force. No one comes close.
Now, Sprite.com makes it easier to buy just about anything you want. Under every cap is a free Sprite or Rocket Cash. Online money you can use through Sprite.com. Drink Sprite, get Rocket Cash. Buy what you want.
Added performance. Added room. Added fuel efficiency. Added style. Added power. Go ahead. You do the math. The all-new Civic. Amazing, but true. Part of the special value collection, now at your Honda dealer.
Come on, sure.
Look, she's doing it again.
I can't believe it.
Sophia? Who are you talking to?
Billy. I will call to visit you.
Billy? But he's in America.
I know.
Hey, Mama, who is that?
My friend. She's crazy.
She's crazy.
With MSN, you've got the world's #1 messenger service to talk with friends online right from your homepage.
She's doing it again.
Every Monday at 8, 7 Central, it's the American phenomenon where only the strong survive.
Who's fallen and can't get up?
Weakest Link, every Monday at 8, 7 Central on NBC.
The Sixers are down by 6, and their main concern is really the defensive energy that they're applying against Reggie Miller. Miller is always a great guy at playing without the basketball. McKee is too late coming around the screen. He's got to be up closer to Reggie Miller, and Miller beginning to warm to the moment.
And what do we think of Reggie's new do? He's going with that retro fade look. You really need to see the left side of his head to get the full appreciation.
But, you know, this is one of his early do's with the double part. But he must have torched some people then, and, you know, players are superstitious. So Reggie busting out a new look, and he's had great results.
Mutombo to the foul line, as I mentioned. He was named the Defensive Player of the Year for the 4th time. Some people thought it should have gone to Kevin Garnett because of his defensive versatility, but Mutombo is always at least among the contenders for the honor.
He is. You know, people here in Indiana say, hey, how about our guy, Jermaine O'Neal? He led the league in blocks, and his lips are on the floor because I didn't even get one vote. I mean, nobody liked me.
Here comes Best, splitting the double team in the backcourt before he gets rid of it to Miller.
Take it away.
He'll take it away for an offensive foul.
Foster tripped McKee trying to get around that screen and gambling in the passing lane, got knocked down.
Foster picks up his second.
Right there, coming out, and you just see the little nick.
Here's Iverson. Taking a while to get on track. Jones trying to follow. He's denied, but Mutombo winds up with it.
Yeah, Iverson must be knocked down, and he doesn't know what to do this early in the ballgame, but he's got to keep shooting. Jones.
And Miller for the rebound. Iverson's 0 for 5. Austin Crozier just in. And a gorgeous move to give the Pacers a 21-15 lead.
Yeah, Crozier looked like he was stumbling, fumbling all the way, but had great control at the end to finish the play, and that's what he does. He'll either drive the ball or he'll pull up and shoot it, so who's ever defending has got to keep him away from the drive. Iverson,
and he's 0 for 6. And the whistle comes not on the shot, but on the rebound.
Crozier off balance, but I know Mutombo, and he reaches around. No chance to block that one. Great finish.
Jermaine Jones picked up his first on the rebound. Just because Allen Iverson is 0 for 6, I don't think he'll turn shy from this point on.
Well, Larry Brown told us they need him to shoot the ball, and he's got to keep shooting it. You know, they would hope that he would have a higher percentage, but not so far, and he hasn't been able to get inside all the way.
Until then.
It's what they have out of the Indy 500. Speed, Bob. You got to have that kind of speed. Just think if you'd have that in your game.
My game was close to non-existent. Unlike Reggie Miller, whose second three of the afternoon, and I guess morning now officially has turned to afternoon in Indianapolis. The Pacers lead at 24-17. Iverson hits his second in a row. Well, so often they say if you can just get on track with a layup, somehow psychologically the jump shot has a better chance to fall after that.
You relax. You got to see that ball go in a few times, and you begin to relax and just become yourself. So back-to-back for Iverson, but it's still a 5-point advantage for the Pacers.
About a 7-second overlap on the clocks. Here's Best. Had it knocked away. Iverson grabs it, and he's fouled coming out of the backcourt. He's upset about that because Jermaine Jones was ahead of the field, and he wanted to peg it to him for the layup off the break.
We don't know if he was going to peg it, but we know he was going to get to the other end of the floor. He wanted 2 points. Either way, Allen Iverson was set to fire out. He's got the ball right there. Crozier comes in and clips him. 2 points when you see 2 points. You know, this is how players are, though. If they had not been able to make something happen, they'd have been saying, what about the breakaway foul?
I asked Larry Brown yesterday if anyone he's seen through his long career in basketball was similar to Iverson. He said, not really. People compare him to Tiny Archibald or to Isaiah Thomas. He said, but that's a function of size. Those guys were true point guards. This guy is a 6-foot, slender 2-guard who plays truly unlike anyone in the history of the league.
No, he does. And the one thing that makes him so amazing is a combination of foot speed and quickness and the ability to control both.
Last 5 seconds. It's Best. And there's the horn. So the 76ers creep back to within 3 after 1. Game 3 of a best-of-5 first-round series tied at 1, and Indiana in front by 3 after 1.
And if you feel it in your toes, then you won't stop. And if it's deep in your soul, then you can't stop. And if you know what I know, then you won't stop. We're going way up, way up, way up, way up. Come on, come on, come on. We're going higher, baby. Come on, come on, come on. We're going way up. Come on, come on, come on. We're going way up. Stay up.
Sure doesn't taste this good in New York.
You up here on vacation?
Nope. Lunch.
Introducing the 260 horsepower Acura TL Type S.
Are you ready to experience the ultimate internet? Introducing Net Zero Platinum. Now you can have unlimited internet access to anywhere on the web with no persistent banner ads, even faster page loads, 24-hour customer support, and it's only $9.95, and that's less than half the cost of AOL. So now what are you waiting for? Net Zero Platinum, the ultimate internet. Call 1-800-DEFENDER or visit netzero.net.
It's more than just a way to mow your lawn. It's a connection to 163 years of hard-earned truths passed down from the Great Plains to your backyard. It's the technology of the most advanced farm equipment in the world, helping you care for your own private piece of the planet. It is John Deere Solid, and now it can be yours for less than $2,000. The LT-133. See for yourself. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Ahmad Rashad in New York. We have this breaking story to pass along. Peter Vesey has learned that the Knicks' Marcus Camby will not be playing in Game 3 tomorrow against the Raptors. He will not accompany the team to Toronto. The Knicks have given Marcus an indefinite leave of absence after the hostage situation involving his family earlier this week. There is no timetable for his return. We'll have more on this story at halftime. Now let's get back to Bob and Snapper.
Ahmad Banks. Indiana up by 3 after 1. look at the brackets. That Raptor-Knicks series tied at 1, as Ahmad said. Game 3 in Toronto tomorrow. This one also even up after 2 games. The Bucks lead Orlando 2-0, and Charlotte has finished off Miami.
Yeah, and the Bucks have an 11-game winning streak against Orlando. So Orlando's really going to have to stay on top of that ball game and stay in a great pass.
But they can't finish it. Tyrone Hill, foul before the shot, or will they count it? They'll count it. Jalen Rose argues that it came before the release. But Hill now will have a chance to tie the game.
This is a great lead pass to Jermaine Jones, but he can't quite control the ball and find the basket. But Hill, off the spin, has a chance to tie this ball game up. So all of the great things that the Indiana Pacers did in that first quarter of play, they'll have to start all over again after this free throw.
Tied at 24. Let's check with Andrea Joyce. Andrea?
All right, Bob. Isaiah Thomas told his team after that first quarter that they really have to rebound better and keep Iverson in front of them. Back to you.
Thanks, Andrea. Jalen Rose with the miss. Matt Geiger in for the first time, takes the rebound. Here's Iverson on the move, misses the bank. The follow isn't there. Geiger will try it, and he'll score. Now Geiger comes out a little gimpy. He's been bothered by a bad knee as it is. It's cut into his playing time, and immediately Larry Brown summoned someone off the bench. Mutombo got up thinking it would be him because Geiger was hobbling, but instead Larry says, Dikembe, sit back down, and he'll bring in Eric Snow.
Well, I think you want to see if Geiger can play through this, whatever it is, because, it's a loss of confidence for him if he's nicked up again and not able to go. Still a little gimpy on that leg. Nice play by Al Harrington.
Tied again at 26. Iverson against 2 defenders. Slings it back out to McKee. 4 seconds to shoot. Aaron McKee will. McKee, who has been such an effective sixth man all season long for Larry Brown, gives the Sixers a 2-point lead.
Oh, a push off on Best. Iverson reached in, and Best really had an advantage, and at the last moment decided, I don't like it, and gives him a little pop in the chest right here. Now, there's no way that he should have that problem. He should have just kept pushing the ball and looking for a shot.
Second foul on Travis Best. McKee fakes the 3, gives it up to Iverson. His three-pointer is overshot into the arms of Jermaine O'Neal. O'Neal from Harrington. Geiger got a piece of it. Here come the Sixers. Iverson with Best.
See the long strides and the speed that goes with it. It's impossible. Why would the coach tell you keep him in front of him?
Easier said than done. The coaches get to say and not do. The players must do. Rose's shot is blocked. Here comes McKee, stumbling and losing it. Jalen Rose, Pacers with numbers. Geiger all over Rose. They go to the floor, and before tempers can flare, the officials step in.
Well, Iverson pushing McKee away because McKee swears he got tripped on that break. He was going at full speed, and suddenly he saw nothing but wood, and he thinks somebody got him. Coming on the break, Aaron McKee tripped over that three-point line. You know, every now and then, one of those pieces of wood gets a little high. You got to pick your feet up. And then the reaction afterwards, but there's nobody there to knock McKee down.
Foul on Geiger is first.
This is a patch of the game where the Pacers have to maintain their poise. They cannot get caught up in extracurricular physical play that are going to create penalty situations, get someone that they need out on the floor to stay out on the floor. They just got to remember how they got the lead and try to get back to that kind of aggressive play.
Harrington into O'Neal, 2 players who came to the NBA straight out of high school. Here's Travis Best with the jumper.
The 76ers are going to gamble, even if it means they give up a score, trying to make a steal, trying to keep the pressure on. Best has got to be able to deliver. First score of the ball game for Travis Best.
McKee, straightaway three. Aaron McKee, who came to Philadelphia as part of that Jerry Stackhouse deal, and has proven to be a very valuable guy off the bench. Austin Crozier baseline, double team, gets it to Harrington. His jumper isn't there. Who touched it last as it goes out of bounds? Philadelphia did. Pacers will have it when we come back. 8.5 minutes to play in the first half. They trail by 5 now.
It's do or die for the Mavericks against the Jazz. Next on NBC.
Now, I know you're engaged, but in our house, it's our rules. Good night.
Well, good night, sir.
Good night, Daddy.
All imported hops give Michelob Light a smooth, satisfying taste you won't find in an ordinary beer.
Scoot over. You're such a nice boy.
Beer or Michelob Light?
I think your creativity comes from within. I think everybody is born with creativity, but I believe it's the trust in yourself and the trust in your emotions to talk to yourself, so to speak, to become your own psychologist, to let your emotions out on a piece of paper, to not be afraid of anything, not be afraid of what people think, not be afraid of what people may say, to just be yourself. And I think that's something that's rare nowadays.
20 years now, where they go? 20 years, I don't know. I sit and I wonder sometimes where they've gone.
Need some help, old man?
My boy, generation after generation. It's good to have someone you can depend on.
Space.com. Something amazing every day.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by the smooth, satisfying taste of Michelob Light. Beer or Michelob Light. By Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by Adidas, Forever Sport.
The Indiana Pacers feel that they have their best chances to control Allen Iverson whenever he gets the ball on the wing. They double, they force him baseline, and this is just a terrific play by Iverson to find somebody, and McKee finishes it off. But they were able to get better shots from Iverson in game 2 out of the trap because he was in the middle of the floor. So they want to keep him on the wing as much as they possibly can.
Philadelphia is on a 12-4 run to start the quarter, 16-4 dating back toward the end of the first quarter, and they have their biggest lead at 5.
And that is the reason Reggie Miller is back out on the floor. He needs some points. Miller had 12 in the first quarter, 4 of 7 shooting. Geiger puts up the first.
It's his second. He is probably the second most unpopular 76er with the Indiana crowd. Iverson is far and away the leader, but Geiger, as you may recall, picked up some flagrant fouls in last year's playoff series against Reggie Miller, and the fans here remember that.
Well, it'll only take one more foul for them to remember just how much they dislike Geiger.
Miller misses upon his return, but O'Neal is on the offensive glass. Harrington nearly threw it away, but Best is there to take it. Pass intended for Crozier, intercepted by Iverson. Iverson takes it all the way and misses. It's back tapped out near midcourt. Geiger has it despite a diving attempt by Harrington. Hill in traffic. Little Best in there battling for the rebound, and Geiger may have fouled him over the top, and if he did, that'll be 3 on Geiger. And a technical's been called. The personal plus the technical. Larry Brown looking on rather pensively.
Now, they know why they don't like him. They remember Bob.
I'm not so sure Larry Brown likes him right now. Geiger has played 4 minutes. He's picked up 3 personals and a technical. Moving at a torrid clip toward a benching. Reggie hit 93% from the line. He makes the technical almost automatic.
Oh, right there, that looks like it should be a jump ball, and then out of it, a stare. I'm sure that there could have been a technical. He didn't say anything. Maybe that was interpreted as taunting. Geiger out of the game.
How do you know what he might have muttered under his breath, which we can't hear, and the official did?
You think the officials are anything close to understanding Van Miller?
Whether he is Edgar Bergen or Charlie McCarthy, he's on the bench either way. Here's Miller bouncing, firing, hitting. And a technical on Reggie, who complained that he was fouled and should have had a chance for a 3-point play.
So, Bob, maybe the officials are nocturnal as well, and these morning games have got them a little on edge, but you can see the bump, the fade, and those were the kinds of shots that he was making with regularity in Game 2. He objects and quickly hit with the tee.
Which Iverson connects on. Miller has scored 15. He thought he should have had a chance for his 16th.
Well, the attitude of the players on both sides tells you how important the game is. One getting an edge and having a 2-1 advantage and a chance to eliminate in the next game, and they both want that. But Miller back on the torch.
15 points in 15 minutes on the floor. Rose on Iverson. He's another jab step. Now splits 2 defenders and scores. He shredded their double teams in Game 2 in Philadelphia, and he did it there.
Can't let him be in the middle of the court, and they've got to do a better job of making the decision to get to him, get the ball out of his hands. Crozier.
Mutombo, who averaged 13.5 rebounds for the season to lead the league, grabs that one.
Iverson wanted a shot, but there's no way he's shooting that one. When you can dance like this and get through a scene that quickly, it's tough to guard you. And both of those guys, Miller and Jalen Rose, are going to have a difficult time keeping the quicker Iverson in front of them. So they better just run to him and then hope he'll pass it to somebody else. Harrington out, Travis Best back in.
And the foul was on Reggie Miller, his first. 76ers with the ball and a 5-point lead.
Now, as bad as Iverson is in that first...
He wasn't looking for that, and they lose it. Intended for Iverson, who was looking the other way.
Yeah, he broke off, but as bad as he was early in the ball game in terms of scoring, he now got 12, and Reggie Miller, who was more efficient, has 15, never even knew that pass was coming. He apologized to his teammates, but it's a turnover.
Pacers, who went to the final a year ago, put up a good fight against the Lakers, saw Rick Smits retire. They dealt Mark Jackson. They traded Dale Davis, got Jermaine O'Neal for him from Portland. Wound up as the 8th seed and played .500 for the regular season. Miller turns and fires. Tough shot, couldn't hit it. Foul on the rebound. Jermaine O'Neal says, "Who, me?" Mike Callahan says, "Yes, exactly."
Well, right now the officials are calling all of the contact inside, hoping that they can get this game back under control. O'Neal will go out of the ball game. 3 personal fouls. Jeff Foster comes back in. So Jermaine O'Neal has yet to get into this particular game and have an impact either rebounding or blocking shots.
Here's Aaron McKee for 3.
Yo, you gotta watch it.
Jalen Rose, an uncontested rebound. Pacers try to cut into a 5-point deficit. Austin Crozier.
Once thing Crozier can do is change directions. After he gets in the air, he's able to contort, slide around Mutombo. First two in the quarter for Crozier. 4 points altogether.
Plus, he has 3-point range on his jump shot, which gives him an extra dimension. Snow back out to McKee, who's feeling it. Not that time.
Now, when Philadelphia gets in trouble, it's because they are exclusively a jump shooting team. So now this is a chance for the Pacers to creep a little bit closer. Taking a lot of time to try to get this shot away. Rose checks the clock.
5 seconds to shoot. Looks like it'll be Jalen. Snow battling Foster for the rebound. Jump ball. Between Foster at 6'11" and Snow at 6'3". But first a timeout with 5:17 to play in the first half.
Feeling a little nervous about getting on the bus?
Yeah, I don't want to go.
You have to go to school.
I don't know if I want to go, though.
That'll be fun.
I want to hang out with you.
Girls' first day. Be nice. First days are always a little scary.
I'm going to miss you.
It's gonna be a bride.
Chevy Malibu. It's dependable. Just like you. Chevy Malibu. We'll be there.
Hey, it's time to clean up your act with new Edge Clean Shave Gel. Edge Clean's got a built-in facial cleanser. It helps lift dirt and oil from your face to the foam, cleaning while you shave. So clean up your act with new Edge Clean Shave Gel.
Across the country, their loyal fans have come to see them play. This year, the WNBA is coming to them.
Everybody ready to get on the bus? Yeah! Let's get this show on the road. Come on, y'all.
So come along for the ride and stay tuned for the WNBA's stories from the road.
Coming up next from Reunion Arena in Dallas, Game 3 between the Mavericks and the Jazz. Mike Breen on hand as the Jazz lead the best-of-5 set 2-0. For Utah, it's always about Karl Malone and John Stockton, but they have plenty of help this year. Brian Russell, 24 points in Game 2. Also, Daniel Marshall, a double-double in Game 1. However, a tough assignment. First home playoff game for the Mavs in 11 years. This place expected to be crazy today. Now let's go back to Bob and Steve in Indiana.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Looking at Allen Iverson, who shot 4 for 13. He had 1 point in the game's first 11 minutes. 11 points in the last 8.
Well, the matchup has become almost even, but Reggie Miller making a terrific off-balance shot and wondering where the foul was. Iverson returning, splitting the defense and getting his 2. So the Stars, Miller with 15, Iverson with that late wake-up call. The clock struck 12. What's your watch say when he started going? It was 12:01?
I think it was about 5 after.
Now he's got 12.
You know, Indianapolis can be confusing. Part of the year, they're on Eastern time, but they don't go to daylight savings time. In fact, the state is split in half. Half of Indiana goes to daylight savings, the other half doesn't.
So he was in the wrong part of the state.
Evidently.
Crozier
for 3. Out of bounds, and it will go to Philadelphia.
Crozier feels that he plays his best when he's aggressive, and even if he's taking a quick 3, he feels that he's better off taking that. As soon as he starts thinking, he gets himself in trouble. He starts to become very robotic, and the Pacers don't get what they should get from him. Iverson, in and out.
Snow with a hustling rebound, but can't finish it. Foul on the rebound. Iverson is now 4 for 14. That will not embarrass him. He's perfectly content on many nights to put something like 10 for 30 in the scorebook. You figure in his trips to the foul line, and he can still get just about his average, which is 31 a game, which led the league. Bad news for Indiana, though. That was Best's 3rd foul.
And Best walking off slow. He is not happy about coming out of the game. Ty Etney comes in, and this will be a difficult matchup for Ty Etney. Etney, a quick little guy who penetrates, but he can have tough time controlling Iverson. A miss.
Foster the rebound. Iverson now 4 of 15. Here comes Etney, listed at 5'10" and 152.
Well, finally, someone that Iverson can overpower, huh?
Here is Etney, lightning quick into the lane, dealing to Foster. Left hand, won't drop. Eric Snow pushes it back to Aaron McKee.
Too many black shirts that time. They had a 4-on-2 with Iverson over in the corner. McKee gets the hoop. 7 1/4 for Aaron McKee.
Tyus Etney, lots of stickers on his bag. Sacramento, the Celtics, then to Lithuania, then to Italy, back into the NBA with the Pacers. Left alone, he pops the jumper.
Well, that's the one thing that Etney cannot do is make open jump shots. So they're going to give him that opportunity, see if he can beat him from there.
You know, when you're 5'10" and you can't make open jump shots, that's a liability.
That's almost like the lack of speed. You better be good by.
Etney is.
Or you better go talk.
Rose. Jalen Rose hit it. You left me temporarily flabbergasted. Which approaches a first in and of itself. 76ers by 3.
First 2 for Rose in the quarter, so he's been quiet after a pretty good start. Right at the basket, McKee.
Nice pass from Iverson.
Crowd a little restless here.
McKee has scored 11 in 12 minutes off the bench. Tyus Etney turns the corner, throws up the floater, misses it off the window. The rebound to Lynch. Snow up in the air, his pass deflected. He's got it back. And Lynch asks for time. 2:47 to play in the first half. The 76ers by 5.
Well, Allen Iverson is doing it all. Even though his percentage is not high, he's keeping Aaron McKee's that way.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Tahoe. Now offering a third row of seats that's light and easier to handle than anything else out there. It's nowhere near anything. The new Chevy Tahoe. Like a rock.
I'm going to see about a credit card.
Oh, but honey...
Rejected! Rejected? You have no future! But I just got a great job! Run, little man! Run! What kind of bank is this?
Take that! Honey, I already got us a Capital One card.
33 million people have chosen Capital One to help build their financial future.
What's in your wallet? It's not where you come from. It's where you're going. It's not what you drive. It's what drives you. It's not what's on you. It's what's in you. Gatorade. Is it in you?
Hi, this is my house. I call it the Calhoun House of Cheddar. This is my wall of cheese. I love cheese, as you can see. Oh, boy, Cheddar England. Ground zero for us cheddar lovers.
If you love cheddar, nothing's more delicious than Wendy's Cheddar Lovers Bacon Cheeseburger.
This is my first cheesehead hat that I got from my dad when I...
Bacon, sauteed onions, and tons of cheddar.
The man who put the 2 E's in cheese, Dave Thomas.
Come try Wendy's Cheddar Lovers Bacon Cheeseburger.
The big cheese.
And now Wendy's pickup windows open late so you can eat great, even late.
See you later. Ahmad Rashad in New York. We have 2 more playoff games coming up later today. The Spurs against the Timberwolves and the Jazz against the Mavericks. Coming up on Net Zero at the half, we'll talk live with the head coach of the Mavericks, Don Nelson. We'll also talk about the Hornets' first-round sweep of the Heat. And we'll have insights on the first half between the Pacers and the Sixers with Kevin and PJ specifically Kevin.
Snapper Jones, you're right. Allen Iverson, only 4 for 15, but doing exactly what he's supposed to. Got Travis Best in foul trouble.
So now I can't figure out, is it daylight savings time now, or was it, you guys got me confused. Bob, Snapper.
No, Ahmad. They stayed on standard time. They didn't go to daylight savings time. That's why this time of the year they're on Central Time in Indianapolis, and the other half of the year they're on Eastern Time. Meanwhile, triple header today, more action tomorrow, and Ahmad's got the laryngitis. Someone get that man a lozenge. Here's Kevin Ollie in for the first time. And his miss is rebounded by Crozier.
Now, over the final 2:33, what the Indiana Pacers don't want to do is lose ground. Steele, Iverson just laid that ball out there. Watch out, Jalen Rose.
Iverson threw it up off balance and got the foul from Rose, who's hopping mad. And he's hit with the technical. Boy, you could see that coming.
Well, Mike Callahan does not like the fact that he doesn't know what time it is, and he has been taken out on the players. Rose is upset, and when we get a look at it, you'll see why. Isaiah Thomas is managing to maintain his cool, but on the way to the hoop, he takes a little shot from Allen Iverson on this steal. Now watch Iverson. He's going to come right up his back and on the way, a little pop right there, and then fall off. And Rose is saying, I didn't push him. You got to be good at this, Bob. You really got to be good at getting to the free throw line, and that is what Allen Iverson is.
Iverson missed the technical. Rose picked up his second personal foul, and the clock is stopped again. Philly by 5.
This is Janice. How can I help you, Mr. Walker?
Yes, hi. I was having a bad day today.
I've had enough!
I decided that I was going to get in my car and, take a drive. Anyway, I took a wrong turn.
Relax. We'll get you home.
Impala LS with 200 horsepower and, fortunately, OnStar. Chevy Impala. We'll be there.
Snapper, is he the MVP?
I think he is. I mean, you look at what he did for Philadelphia this year, and even though Shaq had a tremendous finish and Chris Webber had a great season, I think that they had better teams, more talented players in every position. You take Iverson out of the equation, Philadelphia is now looking at a lottery situation.
Tim Duncan will get MVP consideration as well. Another free throw miss by Iverson. I ran Larry Brown's premise, which we mentioned earlier, by Isaiah Thomas yesterday. Larry saying there's never been anybody in the league quite like Iverson, especially at the two-guard spot. Zeke, while expressing a lot of respect for Iverson, also got him a little bit of a jab. He said, yeah, and a star two-guard who shoots around 40%. Isn't your shooting guard supposed to be a marksman, said Isaiah?
No, he is. And, Iverson's percentage up to this year has been one of the flaws in his game, but he has improved his overall game to the point now where even when he's shooting a poor percentage, he's doing so many other things better. Getting other people involved, stealing the basketball, being aggressive, and getting in, getting a couple rebounds. So his number's going to be down because he is a volume shooter. He's not going to... Ouch!
What was that about? An exchange of turnovers. Here comes Jalen Rose. Crozier. And the rebound to Jermaine Jones. Inside 2 minutes. Philadelphia by 6. Iverson doesn't get the bounce.
See, and even when that play comes and he doesn't finish the play, the fact that he's breaking down the defense, that eventually has an eroding effect. You see how quickly he spins in and gets to 2 attempts, but can't finish the play.
Indy touched it last. 76er ball when we come back. Telecast. Playoff action continues tonight as Milwaukee tries to wrap up its series against the Magic in Orlando. Coverage will begin at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT.
So this has been a difficult quarter for the Indiana Pacers. 11 points total. And as much as coaches talk about defense, when your offense is not contributing and making points for you, your defense flattens out. You struggle in the game. They got to be able to score some points here in the final 139, get themselves mentally headed into the second half.
Miller on Iverson. Rose there to help. George Lynch will fire the baseline jumper. Austin Crozier the rebound.
Now they did a good job defensively. Out of this, they got to get a score. They cannot either turn the ball over or come up dry.
The whistle, the basket for Reggie, plus the free throw. 17 for him now.
Patience and good execution as they find Miller down on the baseline and into George Lynch to draw the foul. Miller will have a chance for a three-point play. Make it a two-point game.
The usual ritual, a little talcum. He'll come to the line. This is virtually automatic, though he did have a couple of free throw misses in Game 2 in Philadelphia. He shot 93% for the year to lead the league, and he swishes that one.
You know, and Philadelphia may have missed a golden opportunity when they had the lead at 5 and Indiana was struggling to really put them away. Iverson through the hoop, drop shot, and the foul.
Well, he just flew by Reggie Miller like Reggie was standing in cement.
You know, Reggie has a tough time with this because, as Jeff Van Gundy said, he's laterally challenged. You can't move your feet quick enough to get and stay in front of Allen Iverson.
So Iverson, who takes a battering in every game and has been tough enough to play through an assortment of injuries, makes the first. And you can log on to NBA.com after each playoff game, live coverage of the post-game press conferences, and you can send your question to our NBA.commentators, including Indiana's Jalen Rose and Philadelphia's Tyrone Hill, all at NBA.com. Inside a minute.
See if they come back to Reggie Miller. He's got Iverson chasing him. Be a good chance, a little even up for him to get back and score.
Here's Reggie, steps back. It's a three. No foul. He thought he was fouled. Here's Iverson sprinting ahead. And Iverson jams it home. Reggie and the crowd hoping for 3 free throws out of that. Instead, a miss, and it ignites a Philadelphia break, which Iverson finishes. Foul at the other end. Philadelphia now up by 7.
Iverson showing you, Jalen, don't think about it. Comes over the top, hangs on to make sure he doesn't hurt himself, but when you get that guy out in the open court, forget about it.
You're allowed to hang on the rim if, in the judgment of the officials, it's to avoid an injury, slow your momentum. And Crozier misses. Crozier was spectacular in the latter stages of the playoffs last year. Conference finals against the Knicks, finals against the Lakers. It earned him a huge contract. He started very slowly this season, as did Indiana overall. As recently as mid-February, there were 8-9 games under 500. Isaiah Thomas had gone back to 2-a-day practices to drill fundamentals into some of the younger players. They closed with a rush, including a 7-game winning streak, to finish the year at 500. Iverson. Foster the rebound with 6 seconds. Reggie looking to push it up. Through a crowd, and he was fouled.
Not a good decision by McKee. He walks away from the official, but definitely some contact, and Miller goes to the floor. Reggie Miller coming on the fly, and you know, all you got to do right now is just stay with Reggie Miller. Not a great left-handed dribbler, just enough of a nick to send him to the floor, and Reggie is just as good as Iverson at drawing fouls. Will go to the line.
A gift 2 points, almost certainly here. Miller now has 19. Iverson has scored 17. Although the answer's accuracy could be questioned. He shot 5 of 18.
Yeah, but the answer's effect on the game cannot be good.
You are correct once again, sir. The pass broken up. Mutombo shoots a running 3. And I would have closed up shop if he'd hit that. 76ers by 4 at the half, 45-41. And we'll be joining Ahmad Rashad with net zero at the half. He'll be with PJ and Kevin after these messages. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
Hello, baby. Ooh, you've been gone too long. Come right in and tell me how you've been. I sure missed you since you've been gone.
More best friends depend on Chevy. We'll be there.
Guardalo, guardalo. Torna dalla mamma. Non è la tua fidanzata, dai. Anche la mia gioca a fare. Stai giù con le gambe, difendi. Ok, vieni qua, prima lezione. Giù con le gambe e gli stai addosso.
Lascialo stare, lascialo stare, lascialo stare.
Basta, è impossibile marcarlo.
Non ti preoccupare, adesso cambiamo le squadre.
Va bene, dai. Ok, adesso la palla è mia.
Dove vai? Dammi la palla. Questa è la mia casa.
Play the millionaire game at McDonald's. There's cash on every card.
It's easy, man. It's Mobile.
Yeah.
More money. Jefferson. Gotta be Jefferson. Love those presidents. Cash, baby.
You have a chance to win $1 to $1 million. There's a cash prize on every card. Can you find it?
You ordered more fries? More chances for cash. How many states begin with another W?
The millionaire game at McDonald's.
Bling, bling.
We love to see you smile.
Sports drinks. Not cutting it, okay? What do you bench? 350. Gallons? By the way, your body called. Yeah, looking for some vitamin D and A. Come on!
Hey, I found a quarter.
Can I get a spot here? Yeah. What are you drinking? Sports drink. Sports drink. Later, sunshine. Well, you just hit the stop button. They got a stop button, or you just stop walking, or you got to. How?
Want to play? Milk has 9 essential nutrients active bodies need.
I'm all right. I'm up.
The Triple Crown, one of sport's most coveted titles, held by legends like Secretariat, Seattle Slew, and Affirm. But no horse has been successful in nearly a quarter century. Will this be Point Gibbons' year to make history? The Visa Triple Crown begins with the Kentucky Derby next Saturday at 5 Eastern on NBC.
Welcome to Net Zero. At the half, Net Zero Defenders of the Free World. Introducing Net Zero Platinum, the ultimate internet. Call 1-800-DEFENDER today.
Ahmad Rashad back in our New York studio with Kevin and PJ as we take a look at the first half. It seems to me that when Philly is most effective, they get some help from Aaron McKee.
Isaiah told us in the pregame, he said that if he can disrupt the trust that Allen Iverson has with the rest of his team, Indiana's done his job. So far, that has not happened. His teammates, Allen Iverson's teammates, are trusting him. Iverson is 4 for 17. McKee steps up big. It's 11 points. Iverson and McKee combined for the last 19 points.
It doesn't seem to matter what Allen Iverson shoots. I think the good news is they're getting to the free throw line. Philly lives on the free throw line. They take the third most free throws in the entire league, and they give up. They're second from the bottom in terms of what they give up. That edge to them is huge every time. They're also dominating the boards, which they have done against Indiana. Isaiah's been crying about that all year, and rightfully so. I think Indiana needs to make some three-point shots. A couple of three-point shots, they can get it done.
Even though the score is low and Philadelphia has the lead, I still think it favors Indiana, this low-scoring game at home.
All right, you would think that because you picked Indiana.
Of course.
In our second game today, the Utah Jazz take a 2-0 lead into Dallas. For the Mavericks, it's their first home playoff game in 11 years. And right now, let's get a report from Lewis Johnson in Dallas.
All right, Ahmad, thanks a lot. Buckle your seatbelt in the studio and all across America. Back in the 80s, the Mavericks fans were known as reunion rowdies. Well, in 2001, for these playoffs, they are back. Listen to that. Everybody that walks onto this pavilion this afternoon will get a souvenir copy of the Dallas Morning News and this poster which says it's payback time. And look at them. Here are the reunion rowdies, all painted up, faces and bodies. In about 30 minutes, there'll be a contest, and the top 30 people will get free tickets into the game. The band has been playing over here. They're phenomenal. The the barbecue pit is smoking. I'm going to get some ribs in just a moment. And you know, these fans here are just hoping that the Mavericks can push this to a Game 4 on Tuesday, because if they were to lose to the Jazz today, not only would it be the end of a great season, but also the last game to be played in Reunion Arena. A new $365 million arena, the American Airlines Arena, is opening in July. Well, Ahmad, I'm throwing it back to you because it's so loud and unbelievable. Oh, and remember those statistics that the NBA released this week about the NBA playoff attendance record. So far, the attendance is up 13%. This building is sold out. And I can imagine that these numbers will help those tickets continue to go up. I'm sending it back to you, man.
Lewis, I didn't hear anything you said for the last 15 seconds with all them people yelling behind you, but you always get to go to the good parties. All right, we're joined right now by the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, Don Nelson. Nelly, thanks for joining us.
All right, Ahmad, good to see you.
All right, now your team is down 2-0. What do you have to do to turn this series around?
Well, there's no disgrace losing a couple of close games in Utah. You know, they're a tough team. They're playing really well. And I don't think anybody should be surprised when we've been outplayed by a playoff team that's been there hundreds of times. It's our first time there. What we need to do is to get some support from our home crowd, because we've got some young guys on this team, and I think the hostile crowd in Utah is bothering them.
Nelly, how much of a factor, you talked about the crowd, experience, Dirk Nowitzki. I can't see you guys winning unless Dirk steps up the way he did during the regular season.
Well, you know, it's just one of those things. He's 23 years old, and Kelvin Booth is my other youngest player. And, you know, both of them have suffered a little bit in early going. But the longer this series goes, the better we're going to play. I expect an outstanding performance out of Nowitzki today. We've worked on a couple of things. We've shown him how they're playing him and the counters that he's going to make today. And we're also going to play more of a continuity offense, which may help him.
Coach Nelson, back in 1989, when you were coaching the Golden State Warriors, you swept this Utah Jazz. What can you do to disrupt the Utah offense, especially down the stretch like you were able to do back in 1989?
Well, I don't have Larry Smith to play Karl Malone, so that's a big difference. You know, I think what we need to do is have confidence in ourselves that we've got to win these two home games. If we can get back to Utah, I truly think we'll win the series.
All right, Coach, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck to you today.
Thank you.
All right, coming up, we'll talk about the Charlotte Hornets' first-round sweep over the Miami Heat. You're watching Net Zero at the half.
Are you ready to experience the ultimate internet? Introducing Net Zero Platinum. Now you can have unlimited internet access to anywhere on the web with no persistent banner ads, even faster page loads, 24-hour customer support, and it's only $9.95, and that's less than half the cost of AOL. So now what are you waiting for? Net Zero Platinum, the ultimate internet. Call 1-800-DEFENDER or visit netzero.net.
I'm the cool cat who read all that. Every book from front to back. I even read the tiny type. I read each one from day to night. I read about that famous flight and was terrified by tales of fright. Every page I did indeed. I'm one cool cat who loves to read. It's not coincidental. Reading is fundamental.
Okay, who are you?
The milkman?
Do you have a sidekick?
No.
A nemesis?
A what?
A bad guy?
I'm a people person.
Have you been fighting crime long?
I don't fight crime.
What do you fight?
Osteoporosis. A never-ending supply of milk. And chocolate milk.
Want strong bones? Calcium may help prevent osteoporosis.
Something is coming.
In 6 days. Go! Prepare to live the adventure.
Oh, my God.
The Mummy returns. Rated PG-13 at theaters Friday, May 4th.
It is halftime in Indiana, where the Sixers lead the Pacers by 4. Last night, the Miami Heat became the first team eliminated from the playoffs as they were swept by the Charlotte Hornets. The Heat were hoping the comeback of Alonzo Mourning would help them reach the finals, but they went just 8-8 after Zoe returned to the lineup. Mike Adamle has more from Charlotte.
Thanks, Ahmad. You know, this series might be remembered not so much for the way Charlotte won, but the way Miami lost. And this question, Alonzo Mourning came back to help his team win an NBA championship. But was he physically ready?
I'm not going to use any of those things as an excuse, you know, for the simple fact is I was out there on the court and I prepared myself for this type of competition. I've been here before based on my own experience, and physically I expect to perform at a certain level when I step out there on the court. I'm going to continue to push myself and have the attitude of wanting to play this game at a very, very high level so that I can help contribute to us winning the championship. And that was on my main purpose of coming back.
And so that NBA championship still eludes him. Alonzo will face an off-season of introspection, dealing with the uncertainty of his kidney ailment and wondering how many chances he has left. Ahmad?
Thanks, Mike. So the Heat lose in the first round for the fourth time in 6 years under Pat Riley. As for the Hornets, they move on to the second round to face the winner of the Milwaukee-Orlando series. And, PJ, you always talk about teams getting hot at the right time. That's the key. It looks like Charlotte's coming on at the right time.
Well, they certainly are. Again, no one expected this. I thought Charlotte would play well, but never to this extent. You got to look at, they were 16-10 against the other Eastern teams that were in the playoffs, so it can't be too much of a surprise. As always, the Hornets do it with defense and rebounding. They're in the top 5 in all the defensive categories, but they're #1 defensive rebounds. Derek Coleman gets it, unloads it. Hersey Hawkins barely has it for a second. Eddie Robinson over the top. Charlotte was spectacular. They just dominated Miami right from the opening jump in Game 1.
What a job Paul Silas has done with that team.
One of my old coaches from Phoenix Suns. He was a great assistant coach then. He wanted so much to get an opportunity to coach, be a head coach again. He's making the most of it. As PJ said, he talks about rebounding. He talks about defense. He takes players who other people don't believe in. He instills confidence and hope in these guys, and they all believe that they can beat a team. They go into a wounded Miami and jump on them, a manhandle the Miami Heat. They're saying, we're here to be dealt with in this playoffs.
I love the shot. Excuse me, Ramon. End of the game last night, they had a sideline shot in the last 30 seconds. The place was going nuts, and they showed Paul. Big Paul just standing there. He had this great smile on his face. He was enjoying it so much. He deserves all the credit.
Here's a guy that had never won a playoff game. He comes in and sweeps first time out. Great coach. All right, as we reported earlier, the New York Knicks' Marcus Camby will not be playing in Game 3 against the Raptors tomorrow. The Knicks have given Marcus an indefinite leave of absence. And, Kevin, what does this mean to the Knicks?
I'll tell you what, they cannot use Marcus Camby as an excuse. I mean, nobody feels worse about this than we do, his family, his friends. But they got to focus. They got a job to do, and somehow these other guys got to be able to try to pick up the slack in Toronto.
All right, coming up, we'll send you back to Indiana for the second half between the Pacers and the Sixers. Thanks for joining us on Net Zero at the half.
This has been Net Zero at the half. Net Zero, defenders of the free world. Introducing Net Zero Platinum, the ultimate internet. Visit www.netzero.net today.
The game that's taken America by storm. Weakest Link, Monday at 8, 7 Central on NBC. The scoreboard, the most important number. A look at some additional arithmetic through the first half. And we check now with Andrea Joyce.
All right, Bob, Isaiah Thomas told me that his biggest concern is fouls. Best and O'Neal each have 3. So his biggest emphasis in the second half is to keep the 76ers off the foul line. Overall, he felt that his team played evenly, especially in the first quarter. He likes where they are. Now, Larry Brown just shrugged off Iverson's slow start. He told me that he felt like he took good shots. They will just try to continue now to match Indiana's energy, and he does not consider this 4-point lead a lead at all. Back to you, Bob.
Lynch misses the second half's first shot. Matumbo rebounds, and Lynch gets a second try, and he makes good on that.
That's what Brown should say to his team. This 4-point lead is nothing. And, guys, we got to get up into double figures because this Indiana team is dangerous with Miller, Rose, and Best being able to shoot from deep and make big shots, and Best hasn't really even gotten into the game offensively.
Working on Iverson, trying to get off, and he does right at the start of the third.
And this guy can score and score in bunches like Allen Iverson. As they saw in Game 1, he can change the complexion of the game. So if you're Allen Iverson, you got to get another foul or two on him, get him down.
Matumbo wheels into the lane, second try. That won't drop. And coming in for the rebound is little Travis Best. Mutombo looking to pick up 2 points, but also perhaps to tack a 4th foul onto Jermaine O'Neal. Failed in both respects. That trip down the floor. Here's O'Neal at the offensive end. Ball squirts free. He looks for a foul. Doesn't get the call. Here come the 76ers. With Eric Snow taking it all the way and Foster blocking it from behind. Reggie spots up. Indiana back to within 1, and Miller has 23.
And Bob, that is how a 4-point lead becomes a 1-point lead. Iverson.
And that is how a 1-point lead becomes a 3-point lead. He's got 19. Reggie again. He's tried 6 threes. He's made 4 of them. Tied at 49. Iverson flashes through. Snow is open.
And that is a shot that Eric Snow has to make to keep the pressure on the defense of the Indiana Pacers. Otherwise, they're going to challenge him, leave Iverson, make it difficult. 2-point game.
Crowd chanting, Reggie, Reggie. Best using a screen from Rose, but Iverson fights it off. Again, but not this time. Trying for his 3rd 3 in a row. Lynch misses the turnaround in the paint. Pacers look to tie again, or go in front with a 3, which Miller will try. Off the back iron, and then off O'Neal's hands. Here comes Iverson. Best is back. Iverson recovers and pops the jumper.
You can't backpedal fast enough, and he tripped, and that allowed Iverson, who lost control of the ball, to get it back to drop in his 4th of the quarter. So the Sixers recovered their 4-point advantage after the barrage of threes by Miller.
Hit a couple in a row, then missed on 2 more 3-point tries.
Now, Miller has Tyrone Hill on him, and he's going to be looking to get by him. He's going to be looking to get some fouls.
And he was fouled there.
Well, Reggie, quickly. Money. And, you know, he feels like, okay, I'm ready to go. Bring me, my friends. Let's get into this game. And then Allen Iverson lost control of the ball, but wide open. Quiets the crowd. This game isn't played at quite the efficient level as game 2, but it's every bit as competitive. Bob, I've seen you moving toward the edge of your seat. You're into this game.
As Miller hits the first, giving him 27. Larry Brown coached the Pacers here for 4 years, twice got them as far as the conference finals. Now in his 4th year as the 76ers coach, and he's completely retooled their roster. Iverson's the only player left on the team from the squad he inherited.
And he had some talented players, but he had to get rid of them because he felt that Allen Iverson was the key, and he had to find people that could play with Allen Iverson. 8 in the quarter for Reggie Miller. Now, if you're Iverson, you got to think about going at Rose and picking up a foul somehow. Don't settle for the jumper. Try to get into the rim.
Here's Crozier. Austin Crozier for the tie.
But if I said Jalen Rose, I meant Travis Best, I must be a little excited too.
I knew exactly what you meant. Working the perimeter for McKee. Tyrone Hill on the offensive glass.
Snow wide open, asking for it.
Here's McKee slicing through, back to Snow for the jumper. He got his own rebound, finding Iverson, who banks it home.
6 for Iverson, 8 for Reggie, and the show is on.
Those are their 3rd quarter numbers. Overall rebounding team totals, and Best. Out of bounds to Philadelphia. Iverson has scored 23 now. He's hit 3 for 4 in this quarter.
Rose comes in the ball game now. Foster goes out, and it has been a quick 5 minutes of play, Bob. We're at the 6:59 mark. 4-point ball game. And a piece for both teams.
Since intermission. Iverson. Poor percentage in the first half. 4 of 5 in the second so far.
I'm a third quarter man, Bob. I had 19 the other day. Don't forget about me.
Jalen Rose. And Indiana back to within 4.
That is the X factor right there. Jalen Rose has not had the kind of offensive game he needs to have to take and put some more emphasis in his direction. McKee has come off the bench to neutralize any bench effort that the Pacers have been able to throw out there.
Ball is kicked. Philadelphia will keep it.
And you see Iverson, and he is in an attack mode now, gets to the free throw line, get that shot. That's money the entire afternoon, and that's not good news for Jalen Rose and the Indiana Pacers.
Jalen Rose, the Pacers' leading scorer each of the last 2 seasons, has 10 in this game.
In traffic to Kerr. 15-footer. I'm going.
The Nissan Xterra. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
What is it, boy? Somebody stuck in a well? Wendy.
Wendy stuck in a well?
No. What about Wendy's? Their Cheddar Lovers Bacon Cheeseburger is back?
Nice.
Come on.
Any cheese lover will tell you nothing's better on a cheeseburger than cheddar.
We're taking a shortcut.
And nothing has more cheddar than Wendy's Cheddar Lovers Bacon Cheeseburger. It's the ultimate.
Thanks, I just got it cut.
Try Wendy's Cheddar Lovers Bacon Cheeseburger. And now Wendy's pickup windows open late so you can eat great, even late.
See you later.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, Tap the Rockies, by Nissan, Driven, by NikeBasketball.com, and by Wendy's Cheddar Lovers Bacon Cheeseburger. Cheddar makes it better.
Not to steal any of the thunder from Ahmad Rashad, but the main men have been on display here in the third quarter. Iverson with his darting foot speed and quickness challenging the defense of the Indiana Pacers, and a huge opening third quarter. And then Reggie Miller from long distance continuing to dial in.
And Miller continues to play heavy minutes. Game 4 of this series is here in Indianapolis, but not until Wednesday. If a 5th game is necessary, it'll be Friday in Philadelphia. Eric Snow got by Miller for the jumper.
defense was late in reacting. They let them get that ball in a screen situation. They were reacting to it. 4 points in the quarter for Eric Snow.
McKee's on Jalen Rose. Hill on Crozier. Jumper over him. Crozier has not been effective today.
Well, he's been more effective on the drive, and he's got to continue to do that. Iverson on the hoop, a mad dash. Oh, James.
That's unbelievable.
10 in the quarter for Allen Iverson.
Not only did no one ever coach that, every coach who ever lived said, don't do that. Rose for 3.
The other said, Dad, oh, Ivy, you're killing me. Philadelphia's got to stay in the attack mode, and a turnover. McKee saw the play but didn't get the pass there.
Steve Miller gives it right back. Now McKee loses it. Who touched it last? Indiana did.
Reggie Miller touched it last, but Allen Iverson at full throttle coming in, taking the pop from Crozier, and still getting the ball to dance in. This third quarter, it's bad news for the 76ers so far with Iverson.
You know, most people will tell you the new rules next year allowing zones will hurt stars like Iverson who feature a one-on-one game. Undoubtedly would help someone like Reggie Miller, who'll be 36 next season, and with that outside range, he can bust zones.
Well, I don't think it's going to hurt Iverson because he just takes off and runs away from everyone. You can't catch up with him, and you have to play a quicker game. You're going to get in bigger trouble. Another hoop for Snow, 6 in the quarter.
Slow first half for Snow. Big third quarter. And Indiana now faces its largest deficit. They're down by 10 on their home floor with 4:41 to play in the third.
Coors Light. Frost Brew. Rocky Mountain Cold. Coors Light. Coors Light. Who wants one? Rocky Mountain Cold. Coors Light. Who wants one?
We gotta follow that.
This is a bucket of water. And this is Goodyear's new and improved AquaTread 3. At higher speeds in a downpour, a set of AquaTread 3 tires pumps away over 6 gallons of water per second. That's over 360 gallons per mile. With its 80,000-mile tread life limited warranty. That's a lot of water. Think about it next time it's pouring buckets. New AquaTread 3. Only from Goodyear.
Goodyear, Goodyear.
Tuesday on an all-new Frasier, Daphne's back and Niles has big news.
We're going to consummate our relationship. What? Nobody's going to believe you two haven't slept together.
This is the Frasier everybody's been waiting for.
Who's everybody? Nobody.
Daphne's back on an all-new Frasier, NBC Tuesday.
Andrea Joyce back in Indianapolis. Now, throughout the game, the fans behind the 76ers bench have been on Allen Iverson, but so far, mostly innocuous things, calling him names like crybaby or immature, shouting out his shooting percentage for the first half. So far, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing that he hasn't heard in a lot of other places, and they're also directing plenty of those comments to Matt Geiger and Larry Brown as well. Back to you guys.
All right, Andrea. Jalen Rose, among others, has said after the complaints by Iverson as Al Harrington just into the game misses badly, and Iverson comes streaking out of the backcourt, finding McKee, who was fouled from behind. They said, look, our fans are tough. There's no question. There are some harsh comments made, but we sincerely doubt that racial slurs were ever thrown. They conducted an investigation which found no evidence that anything racial was directed toward Iverson, who unfortunately for him was caught on mic making some rather harsh comments of his own directed back toward those fans, and then claimed that he had said them in response to racial slurs from behind the Philadelphia bench during a regular season game.
When you get caught, you got to make up a reason for saying those things. But I mean, for the most part, you go into any arena, you're going to find some fans that are going to say some things that shouldn't be said, but for the most part, they are just on you because you're the opposition.
The foul is on Best, his fourth. McKee makes one of two. A bit of extra security here today. Not an overwhelming presence, but a bit of extra security, and all parties have tried to downplay the situation in the days leading up to this game 3.
Now, right now, the Indiana Pacers have to up their offensive efficiency and their defensive ability. Rose comes back, gets a second hoop for the quarter, 9-point game.
Snow walks it up. Here's McKee. And Aaron McKee increases the advantage to 11.
See, there are too many spaces right now that aren't being covered by the Indiana Pacers. A slip by Harrington, but McKee goes right into that 15-foot area. 3 points in the quarter for him, 14 on the afternoon. And look how hard it is to get your offense set up if you are the Indiana Pacers. And we're trying to get a pick and roll that are going to end up with an illegal defense.
Isaiah Thomas looking on, and the basket by McKee, which put Isaiah in an 11-point hole. I asked Thomas yesterday, who was the greater coaching influence this your first year as an NBA coach? The greater coaching influence, Bobby Knight in college or Chuck Daly with the two-time champion Pistons? He said, it's everybody. It's Daly, it's Knight, it's my grade school coach, it's my mom. You know, his mom had some very interesting theories on defensive rotation.
Well, I would tend to believe that it's his mom. Because Mary has carried a big stick and a big influence his entire life.
Well, Mary's got to work with Jermaine O'Neal on that jumper, which drew no iron.
Trying to come to Mutombo, get him a little candy, and they do.
He hits the jump hook, and the Pacers are in deep trouble now, trailing 68-55, exactly 3 minutes to play in the third.
Well, for the Pacers, they got to remember they were down big in game 1, and they came back. And for the 76ers, they got to remember they had a big lead. They got to play through. They got to make sure they get every rebound. They got to continue to push. They cannot become a perimeter team. Snow trying to get an early opportunity for McKee.
And McKee now has 16 points. And more importantly, Philadelphia leads by 15. And Philadelphia has been killing Indiana on the boards.
And it is just a 14-point quarter, so the numbers for the Pacers are going down, and they can't stand that. Another one-shot opportunity. Here come the Sixers on a break.
Eric Snow trying to finish it, but an offensive foul on Aaron McKee as he ran into Reggie Miller delivering the pass.
And Reggie was thinking, foul all the way. I'm outnumbered. McKee points to his head. He should have stopped and been under control, but you'll see. Mutombo doesn't get many, and they keep talking about giving him more chances, but it's tough for him to get shots with the long arm of Mutombo up and down, and then Aaron McKee, again, with a good wide-open opportunity, cashing in.
This game was tied at 49 very late in the first half. Philadelphia is on a 21-6 run since then.
Now, you know, this team is a jump shooting team. So when they're missing and they're only getting one chance, it really hurts them. They get a fortunate break right there. Kevin Ollie got pulled off the ball, so Reggie Miller got it back.
After another missed jump shot, I should have said the tie at 49 occurred early in this third quarter after Reggie Miller came out and hit a couple of quick threes. But since then, what an extended drought. Only 6 points since then for Indiana on their home floor.
Bob, I knew it.
Thank you. Now we're even, as is the series. But somebody's going to go up 2-1 today, and it begins to look like the Sixers. Jalen Rose on the drive, giving the home crowd some hope, a chance for a three-point play.
They've had very few of these. Darting drive to the bucket from anybody, and Jalen Rose has this kind of ability, so he's got to be able to get in, get the fouls, get to the line, and give them some cheap points. Nick some of these 76ers up with some foul problems.
Jalen Rose told us yesterday he spent the better part of the offseason constantly thinking about the finals against the Lakers, especially Game 4 here, when they had a chance to tie the series. Shaq fouled out. Kobe killed them in overtime. They lost the game in overtime to go down 3-1. They won Game 5 to send it back to L.A., but bowed out in 6. If they could have won that 4th game, he thinks they very well might have won the entire thing. Kevin Ollie. Hold on. No shot. Philadelphia is called for a 3-second violation.
Lynch got knocked down, and he was in the lane, and then he gets up and he gets locked up with Al Harrington. See the trip? Now he trips him. Well, there's 3 seconds right there. I can't get up. And they finally call it.
Well, of course you're going to get called for 3 seconds. If you're being smothered, you can't get up. Here's a Philadelphia foul at the other end.
Eric Snow gets a foul against a bigger Jalen Rose. Now, what Rose is very good at is playing with his arms up high. So if you're a defender, you come around him, he has the ability to clamp you and then spin off you and get the foul. Back at the line, Jalen Rose. Rose picking up his offense here. He's got 7 in the quarter, and they need every single point that they can get from Jalen Rose.
Triple Crown begins with the Kentucky Derby a week from today, 5 o'clock Eastern Time, the Run for the Roses. We've also got the Preakness and the Belmont as the Triple Crown comes to NBC for the first time this year. Rose gets them both.
9 in the quarter for Jalen Rose now, 17 in the game.
Tyrone Hill, and a whistle away from the ball. Another 3-second violation.
Same guy, George Lynch this time. Now we'll see how the 76ers handle a couple of calls that they disagree with from the officials. Do they look the other way, or do they keep their defensive energy up, try to come back and make the Pacers make a mistake? Rose is on the boil right now, coming in. Got an offensive foul.
Hugh Evans with the call. He's working his last run of NBA playoffs, one of the best officials in the league for many, many years. Hugh Evans has announced that he's going to retire at the conclusion of this year's playoffs.
George Lynch able to get all of his body over in front of Jalen Rose to pick up that foul. 58 seconds left, Bob, in this quarter.
And a 10-point game.
Rose goes out with 3 personal fouls. And again, because they were down 18 in that ball game, when they were able to reel the 76ers in, they got to go back to that experience. Derek McKee in the ball game, his job is to defend.
Iverson from long range, just inside the 3-point line, and Allen Iverson now with 29.
Bob, does that make it the leading score in the game?
Why, yes, it does, Snapper, since Miller has 28.
And again, it's been the third quarter that's been the story. Dick ball.
And Indiana will keep it. 14 on the shot clock, 28 on the game clock.
So whenever the clock got right for Iverson, he started really making some noise against the Indiana Pacers. In this third quarter, he has been on fire, making shots from all angles.
Crozier driving to the hoop, off balance, switch to the left hand, battling on the offensive glass, but can't come up with it, and Hill does.
Now this is where you don't want Iverson in the middle of the floor, and you've got nobody to help you, and he's got all of the decision-making responsibility.
McKee, 3 seconds to shoot. He's going to have to force it over Derek McKee, and he misses it badly. But hold on, a foul at the buzzer. Derek McKee was on Aaron McKee. Derek McKee, the veteran defensive specialist, in for just that very reason, and commits a foul that must have had Isaiah Thomas wincing.
But you don't want to foul a perimeter shooter, particularly against the clock. If he makes the shot, he makes it, but don't pick up a foul and give them a chance to go through the line. They put 4/10 of a second back on the clock, and Aaron McKie going through the line. McKie has had a brilliant game off the bench for the 76ers. 6 in this quarter.
And 17 now for the game.
This is enough time if they were to advance the ball to catch and shoot. You can at least get a legal shot away. Reggie Miller practices these kind of shots from half court all the time. So let's see if Reggie gets it and throws it the distance.
So they'd gotten it from 15 to a more manageable 10 moments ago, but now they're down by 14. Looking for the quick catch and shoot. It's Al Harrington from half court. Philadelphia ends the quarter on a 25-11 run. McKie having a fine series. He averaged 11.5 for the season, averaging around 18 a game through the first 2 of this series, and he's got 18 after 3 quarters of game 3. Back after these messages from your local station.
The Nissan Xterra. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
The heart of a champion.
Why this pill could save your life. NBC Nightly News next week.
Looks like you got a little nick there. What, this? It's nothing. Maybe we should get it looked at. Or maybe we should go get a delicious Mike's Hard Lemonade instead. You're on.
A hard day calls for a hard lemonade. Make it Mike's.
It's Toyota's big event. Now, there's a Toyota and a Toyota sales event for everyone. You'll find incredible values on Toyota's largest inventory ever, with 16 different Toyotas to choose from. Choose Tundra and choose your own deal. 3.9%, 4.9%, or 5.9% APR financing, or $500 customer cash back, or save big on a special lease. Don't miss Toyota's big event. See your Toyota dealer today. How safe are you when the doors close? A Unit 5 investigation, Sunday at 10. This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. And any retransmission, reproduction, rebroadcast, or other dissemination or use of this telecast, or of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Philadelphia looking a bit more like a number 1 seed since the second half of game 2.
And Allen Iverson looking like an MVP candidate, particularly here in the third quarter of play, is leading scorer in the ball game. Reggie Miller, a fine third quarter. He had those 8 quick early points and then quiet for the rest of the series. They got to light Miller up. It's Miller time.
Best against Iverson, runs into a closure screen. Now Jalen Rose, who lost it. Philadelphia gives it back as Snow can't control. Isaiah Thomas, 12-time NBA All-Star, member of the Hall of Fame, collegiate champion with Indiana, 2 times in the NBA. Miller missing the 3, but McKie the rebound. Now Rose for 3.
Now remember, that is how they almost lost the game. Miller missed 2, Rose missed 2, then They got a bad shot from Aaron McKee, and they were able to put it away. Iverson with a quick shot from distance. And that's what Indiana wants to see. You shoot the ball quickly from there. We get a chance to get back in the game because we're a better jump shooting team.
They missed 2 good looks at three-pointers on their last possession. Now it's Crozier to Reggie. His 3 isn't there. Best has it and a fresh 24. Aaron McKee knocked it out and couldn't save it. Reggie, the fake, and the shot.
Well, Reggie finally dials in and gets that one to drop. Move in a little bit closer, you know. Sometimes you can get three-point crazy, and you start, even the best shooter's going to feel a little bit of tension. So Miller finally gets Indiana a score in the quarter.
30 now for Reggie Miller.
And Mutombo should go baseline.
The hook over Crozier.
Couldn't make that move, but he did get the score.
Well, he's 7'2", Crozier is 6'9", and he was looking to exploit that and did.
And McKee used to be a great offensive player, and I think his time has come and gone. Good hook on George Lynch, and he gets the foul against him.
George Lynch with the foul.
You know, players are always talking about not being able to get away with things, but a good pop, a good nice little forearm in the chest of Eric Snow gets Miller that extra step. Snow too late, and Miller his first fourth quarter score.
Foul on George Lynch, which is 3rd. Indiana inbounds.
2 on the clock.
Jalen Rose beats the buzzer, misses the shot. And are they going to call out a 24-second violation?
No, it's a foul on the push. Aaron Crozier.
There you go. Because there was no question that it hit the rim.
So they changed the call to McKee, Garrett McKee on the push. Mutombo was in position. You saw him move out of the basket area, and the official said somebody must have helped him.
Either way, Philadelphia ball. Aaron McKee overshot it. Travis Best trying to save it in, and does, to Jalen Rose.
And when Indiana gets a turnover, they got to get to the other end of the floor, and they got to start getting something cheap. Here comes Crozier. Nice feed.
And Derek McKee finishes it. Derek McKee didn't see much playing time the first couple of games in Philadelphia. The matchups weren't favorable for him. That's his first basket of this game. Aaron McKee. Derek McKee on him. He now switches to Snow. Aaron McKee gets it back. Mutombo misses the tip, but George Lynch is there to finish it.
And see, that's when the 76ers are at their best, when they break you down and then they react. And they're going to get
that's got to be goaltending, sure,
against Mutombo.
Yeah, Mutombo pinned it against the glass. Plus, it looks like there's a foul on the play, so a chance for a three-point play.
It's do or die for the Mavericks against the Jazz, next on NBC.
There was no running back more fun to watch than Barry Sanders. He'd stop dead in his tracks and go backwards. He'd spin away from tacklers and go sideways. And yeah, he also moved forward for about 15,269 yards.
Hey, nothing beats an original. Original Coors, brewed with Rocky Mountain water.
Original Coors. Nice hand dog.
Ford Windstar. The only minivan with the advanced personal safety system. It's a safe place to be.
3,510,000, 3,511,000, 3,512,000.
People will do anything to win the millionaire game at McDonald's. There's a chance to win a cash prize on every card. Answer the question and you could win, if you get it right.
3,528,000.
Dude, you already counted that one.
One.
Many will enter.
2.
Few will win.
3, 4.
I'm going to see about a credit card.
Oh, but honey.
Rejected?
You have no future!
But I just got a great job!
Run, little man! Run!
What kind of bank is this?
Take that! Honey, I already got us a Capital One card.
33 million people have chosen Capital One to help build their financial future.
What's in your wallet?
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet? By Ford, the latest innovations, the greatest tradition. And by McDonald's. We love to see you smile.
The Indiana Pacers believe in their ability to make the deep shot, but never discount a bit of good luck to get your run going. On the offensive rebound and the attempt, Mutombo pins it. They get a foul against Lynch, so they got 2, and now they'll have a chance for 3.
And Crozier gets it done at the line, but they still trail by 11. 8:45 on the clock.
Larry Brown's got to tell his guys, keep attacking, guys. Don't stand around. Keep moving the ball. Keep going to the bucket. You're going to make things happen. Snow.
He was open because they doubled Iverson, but he couldn't hit the jumper.
Well, you know, part of their strategy is to bet on Snow, maybe feel a little bit of pressure. Crozier driving.
Taking it strong to the hoop, and the foul on the play. Crozier's jumper hasn't been falling. He trusts the move to the rim more, and he'll come to the line.
He got Mutombo out on the wing, and Mutombo does not move his feet well from that far out. Crozier, and I'm sure players have looked at Crozier, but they forget he's a dominant right-handed driver. If you want to get this guy under control, make him go to his left.
Coming up, 2 more NBA playoff games. First up, Michael Finley and the Mavericks try to avoid elimination against the Jazz. And then in the late game, Kevin Garnett and the Timberwolves have to win to stay alive against the top seed out west, Tim Duncan, David Robinson, and the Spurs. It's a triple header today on NBC.
5 and a crowd back in it.
McKee on Tyrone Hill, who slips. It's poked away. Snow has it. Shot clock down to 3. And out of bounds off Philadelphia.
Larry Brown tells his guys, don't panic. You know, let's stay in it. You can see what Isaiah's trying to do now. I'm going to make somebody else other than Allen Iverson make a shot and beat us. They've got to come back and score. They open the court up. They're looking for a switch and a drive. Take the ball to the bucket. Crozier got the last 5.
Here's Crozier backing up and firing. He still can't buy one from long range.
Double on Iverson.
Crozier trying to contend with Mutombo, who misses. The tip isn't there. Iverson picks it back up. Iverson hasn't scored in this fourth quarter. In fact, he's tried just 1 shot after a 12-point outburst in the third.
Well, a little nervous. He dribbles that one out of bounds. Larry Brown and Isaiah Thomas want to talk to their team. Timeout.
How old is Larry Brown? 60s.
Did you ever see that movie, You've Got Mail? Where this guy and girl fall in love emailing each other a bunch of times? Anyway, they finally meet face to face, and there's this big romantic kiss. You know the movie I'm talking about? Did you ever see that one? Well, this guy didn't. Ford F-Series Super Duty. Built Ford tough.
The Schick Extreme 3 triple blade performance. Pivoting head, and after a bunch of great shaves, you just serve up another Schick Extreme 3.
Schick, shave something.
$1 billion. That's how much Oracle saved in 1 year using its own e-business software. How much will you save? Oracle. Software powers the internet.
Go to Louisiana, see my Louisiana, sing Polly Willy Doodle all day. Oh, a grasshopper sitting on a railroad track, sing Polly Willy Doodle all day. Picking his teeth with a carpet tack, sing Polly Willy Doodle all day. Betty Will, Betty Will, Betty Will, my fairy fay. Go to Louisiana, see my Louisiana, sing Polly Willy Doodle all day.
Now, Sprite.com makes it easier to buy just about anything you want. Under every cap is a free Sprite or Rocket Cash. Online money you can use through Sprite.com. Drink Sprite, get Rocket Cash. Buy what you want.
And so the detective said the butler didn't do it. It was. My book! Let's go, Brick. Where's that page? I've got to finish my book. Hello, sir. Can you please tell me how your book ends? No! Now I'll never know. Brick! Oh, Brick, look what I've got. Good dog.
NBA playoff basketball has returned to the city of Dallas. Sold out Reunion Arena as the Mavericks and Jazz square off. Hello, everyone. Along with Bill Walton, Mike Breen on hand. The Jazz are up 2-0 in this series. They're excited here in Dallas, but what do the Mavericks need to do to avoid the elimination?
Mike, so many subplots going on here, but ultimately, if you're going to beat the Utah Jazz, Steve Nash has got to be much better against John Stockton, and then someone up front for the Dallas Mavericks. They've got to want to stand up to fight against Karl Malone and take that ball out of his hands.
Well, the crowd is certainly ready. They've been ready for hours. Game 3 coming up next. Now we go back to Indiana with Bob and Steve.
You think Walton is ready, Snapper? He wishes he was here. Then he could be rocketed to Dallas, then up to Minnesota for Spurs Timberwolves, and then work TNT Magic Bucks. He'd like to do all 4.
He would. And, you know, he's been at the arena probably since they opened it up early this morning, out there with that early crowd. McKee against Mutombo.
Spins and misses. Best keeps it alive. Here's Jalen Rose. Big 3. It's not there.
76ers haven't been reacting to the ball here late in the ball game as well as they were earlier. They're looking for somebody else to rebound the ball. They've got to get every rebound. Let's see if Miller comes to Iverson. 6 on the clock for Snow.
Over Miller with the miss. Mutombo on the offensive glass, and he asks for a timeout. Indiana getting destroyed on the rebounding line of the stat sheet today. And trailing by 9 with 6:16 left.
God damn it.
The all-new 2002 Ford Explorer. Smoother, larger, and more powerful. Even nature is singing its praises.
Isaiah Thomas's team has been out-rebounded 50-35. No surprise that for Larry Brown, Dikembe Mutombo has 15 rebounds. He led the league in that category, averaging 13.5. But who do you think is the leading rebounder for Indiana? This is not actually a good number for them. Travis Best at 5'11", has 10 rebounds. He's their leading rebounder.
You didn't give me enough time to answer. I guess I must be the weakest link, huh?
Goodbye. You see Tom Shale's review of that show in the Washington Post? He called Ann Robinson a cross between Mary Poppins and Pol Pot. The rebound is taken by Austin Crozier.
Well, Mutombo was right at the rim and thought he was going to be able to drop it over, and he left it short from 1 foot. So that gives the Pacers life. Right now, the Sixers beginning to stand and feel pressure when they shouldn't. They got to get back to being the aggressors. Crozier and one.
And that brings them out of their seats at the Fieldhouse.
Starting to stand and watch as they pull Mutombo out high, and this is the play McKee, Aaron McKee should never commit. Once that guy's by you at that close to the rim, give him the deuce, but don't give him a chance for the extra point. Crozier trying to get his 8th point of the quarter.
He scored the last 8 Pacer points, and they're back to within 6 after trailing by 15. Everybody up now at Conseco. And that quiets them. Aaron McKee with 20 points.
And Allen Iverson has not taken a shot in the quarter. So he's also got to get back to being aggressive and looking at the rim. He's taking one.
Best from McKee.
Suddenly, the layup is there for the Indiana Pacers because they have pulled them further away from the hoop. And the Sixers are gambling. They got to stay in front of their man, be aware where the man and ball is.
Best has scored 6. Pacers trail by 6. Snow makes it 8.
Well, Iverson's going to say, guys, you got to help me out. If we're going to win, you're going to have to make those shots. They get back-to-back deliveries from Snow and Aaron McKee. Now see where they got Mutombo, so they got the middle open now. Mutombo has to guard somebody out there. The lane is open.
Best spinning, finding Derek McKee for an unexpected 3. Where did that come from? Iverson, just his 2nd shot of the period, and the line drive rebound grabbed by Reggie Miller.
I see if Brown makes an adjustment. See, Mutombo can't stay in the lane because McKee is outside. Miller.
Just like that. They're back to within 3. 3:50 on the clock, and Larry Brown wants to talk it over.
Derek McKee wide open, and they gamble that he can't beat him, but he drops in a dime from long distance, and Reggie Miller returns to the fray with his deuce.
32 for Reggie.
At 6'9", Magic Johnson was the tallest point guard in league history, so it was easy for him to look over the heads of defenders and find his man. A guy like that could dish out a lot of assists. 10,141 to be exact.
Hey, nothing beats an original. Original Coors, brewed with Rocky Mountain water.
Original Coors. Nothing beats a tall one.
When was the last time you felt 284 horses tugging at your soul? When was the last time you immersed yourself in hand-tufted virgin leather? Can you really put a price on this kind of perfection?
Actually, you can. Because this $70,000 car could cost you over $326,000 in retirement savings. We just thought you should know. Ask a financial advisor about Sun America, the retirement specialist.
Ford Windstar. The only minivan with the advanced personal safety system. It's a safe place to be.
Hey, how was your business trip to Chicago?
Good. How was your week off?
Great. My friends and I went to the beach.
Really?
Yeah, we rented from Hertz.com. Found their best rates, special offers, and it was real easy to use, too.
Maybe we should try it this weekend.
We.
Point Gibbons' performance raises the bar. California's finest.
He's so big. He's like a big locomotive.
Accelerates toward Churchill Downs. He's primed for Derby. The chase is on.
The Visa Triple Crown starts with the Kentucky Derby next Saturday on NBC.
So in a week, it's the run for the Roses, but the run by Jalen Rose and the Pacers is at 15-4 now since they trailed by 14. And now they're back to within 3.
Well, let's see if the toys of the 76ers come up, and have they learned anything from their defeat in Game 1. They put the ball in the hands of McKee and get an off-the-ball foul against against Travis Best.
Travis Best is fifth personal foul.
Allen Iverson trying to bust free, and also very good at drawing fouls, and the reaction from Best is he flopped. Isaiah, yes, he flopped.
5 fouls now for Best.
They got to see if they can get Iverson going through the ring. 7 on the clock.
Iverson into the lane, bounces off Best and misses, and Best claims his 11th rebound. Go figure on that. He takes it all away, and it rattles out for him.
Both those guys thought they got foul on the way. Best thought he got fouled. Allen Iverson previous to that. As the Sixers come back and walk it up. They are not at their best when they have to sit down and execute in a half-court situation. 11 on the clock. They're going to run somebody at Iverson.
Here's Eric Snow, 2 seconds to shoot. And an offensive foul. 4 now on Snow.
Well, if you were to say which coaches made the best adjustment in the final quarter, it would be Isaiah Thomas pulling Dikembe Mutombo out high to have to defend against Derek McKee.
Travis Best, interesting line, 6 points, 8 assists, 11 rebounds, 5 fouls.
Pacers looking for Miller.
Here he is. Tied at 82. They came back from 18 down in Game 1 at Philadelphia to win. They come back from 15 down to tie here. McKee. Hard to tell above the din of the crowd if the whistle came before the shot, but I think it did.
Reggie Miller all the way. The 76ers say he stepped out of bounds, but this is Miller time. This is when he's at his dramatic best, and the game is tied.
Sixer ball from the side.
Iverson a little tentative and nervous himself. They come at Reggie Miller again. George Lynch should be shooting that one.
And Best is fouled out. He felt he had no choice but to wrap him up. Otherwise, it's a certain 2. And if it is Best on the foul, he's gone.
Well, as important as Best is, you give up the 2 points. Your team has got the momentum right now. You need him to stay out on the floor. And this is going to make Isaiah think long and hard about who to bring in the game now. George Lynch will go to the line.
Zeke appears highly amused even in the pressure-packed moment.
So we'll find out right now.
He goes to Al Harrington, who's in his 3rd year in the league, but he was never playoff eligible the first 2 years he watched in street clothes. He came to the NBA right out of high school. There are 9 players on NBA rosters who played no college ball. The Pacers have 3 of them. Jermaine O'Neal, Jonathan Bender, who hasn't played today, and Al Harrington.
Now let's see if George Lynch can handle the heat of breaking the top.
Well, that makes Best feel a little bit better about his decision. The most they can get out of it is 1, so he saved him at least 1 point.
All right, Mutombo coming back out on the floor. Tyrone Hill will sit down. And at some point, they may have to bring Tyrone Hill back in. Larry Brown likes to play his 3 guards to close the game out. Lynch for the tiebreaker.
Missed them both. Indiana looks for the lead. Exactly 2 minutes left.
2 minutes, 2 clock.
They're looking for 2 guys, Rose or Miller. 5 on the clock.
Here's Reggie, 2 seconds to shoot. Fires a 3 and misses it. Ball loose, who's got it? A foul on the play, a loose ball foul.
Allen Iverson, his first.
And it's on Allen Iverson. That is his first foul. But with 1:43 to play in the game, and the score tied at 82, now the officials are conferring, and the call may get reversed.
Well, Mutombo had the ball and was tipping it, and he was the guy that had control. The other number 3 is Al Harrington that's out there. Al is saying, wait a minute, hey, you got us confused. Mutombo is here with the ball. Harrington will come in, and that's where the collision takes place. Allen Iverson clearly got control of the ball.
And they got the wrong number 3, at least momentarily.
Well, you know what they say about big guys. Pressure always gets him. Let's see how Mutombo handles it. George Lynch did not take the heat the last time at the line.
But Mutombo drops it through. Big free throws for Dikembe Mutombo. Indiana asks for time. Down by a basket with 1:43 left.
Last week, this company's website went live. The employees are celebrating their success by gathering in revelry. They are exhilarated by the onslaught of new customers. Yet, no one has visited the server in days because no one has had to. The server software is not offended because the software knows no loneliness, always reliable and never needy. Enterprise software from Microsoft.
Each team with a couple of timeouts remaining. Game 3 of a best-of-5 opening round playoff series, tied at a game apiece.
Well, Allen Iverson has been very quiet here after a sizzling 4th quarter of play. Stuck on 29. Reggie Miller at the end of 3 had 28, so he has scored 7 here in the crucial 4th to be the leading scorer in the ballgame.
Dikembe Mutombo shoots free throws unusually well for a man 7'2", 73% for the season. So not a big surprise that he knocked them both down to give the Sixers the lead.
Jalen Rose in the middle of the floor, and usually he plays his best in moments like these. Let's see what kind of decisions he makes.
Reggie with the fake and the 3 that could have given Indiana the lead. Iverson wins the race for the rebound, and then he's fouled as he's grabbed from behind by Al Harrington.
Nice sliding tackle, because you know what? Nobody was catching Allen Iverson.
You know, it's like Gale Sayers. Don't let him get into the open field, or in this case, the open court.
Slid in, got a hold of him, so Iverson will walk through the line, a chance to make the lead 3 or 4.
That's his first point of the 4th quarter. Jermaine O'Neal in. Al Harrington out. Well, a moment ago, the Pacers had the shot they hoped for. After the fake, Reggie had a great look at a 3 and missed it. Iverson makes only 1 of 2. And then McKee reaches in, Aaron McKee, and fouls Derek McKee.
Mistakes, mental mistakes, are the difference between winning and losing. And, you know, that's the 76er game. Going for steals, but you also got to read the moment. And now Derek McKee, who hit a huge three. See how his shoulders are, whether he's tight enough.
In his 14th year out of Alabama. Misses it. He needs this to make it a 2-point game.
Oh, shit.
Which it is with 1:25 left.
6 points here in the fourth quarter for McKee, despite the miss at the line.
Rose on Iverson. Iverson with the move into traffic, lays it off to Tyrone Hill, and a foul.
Iverson was setting the table all the way. He knew everybody was going to converge on him, and he found Tyrone Hill on the other side, but he's teasing, and it goes right in. 3 guys around him. Tyrone Hill a chance. Couldn't get it. Now he'll go to the line. 6'10". That's the altitude you got to be concerned about. When guys get this big vibe, moments like this get too big for him.
That one was clean. He's 2 for 2 at the line today. A 63% free throw shooter for the year. He needs this to make it a 2-possession game. Got the bounce.
Ooh.
Inside a minute.
Looking for Miller.
Here he is, but Iverson's right up on him. 10 on the shot clock. Reggie almost lost it. Now he lets the 3 go and misses it long. Crucial rebound. Crozier battling for it and controls it. But then Aaron McKee comes up with it for Philadelphia. Hustling effort, but the Pacers couldn't control. Inside 40 seconds.
Well, Crozier was falling down, and he thought he was going to go out of bounds, and that's why he was trying to make a play. Back in the hands of Iverson.
Oh, quick whistle there. What looked like incidental contact, the kind of contact that under the new rules next year would certainly be overlooked. And with not much time on the shot clock, with the Pacers looking for the defensive stop rather than intentionally giving the foul, they call the foul there.
And Jalen Rose and Isaiah Thomas are saying, when is next year going to start? We need that now. Iverson, 1 of 2 last time, gets this one. And if the Sixers are doing anything, they're getting the breathing room at the line. And the big fellas are leading the way. Mutombo with 2, Hill with 2.
And Iverson hits a pair. Indiana calls the expected timeout, trailing by half a dozen with 26 seconds left.
Hey, yo! Feel the drum. Yeah, that's the flavor. Feel the joy. Let it out, y'all. Y'all. The Joy Pepsi, y'all. Pepsi.
No mess is too big for this baby. Perfect for your biggest problem areas.
But a vacuum.
Yes! You missed a spot.
Could you lift your feet up? It works. Spring cleaning. All it takes is the right equipment and your Visa card. It's every way you want.
Remember the A-Team? Now there was an odd bunch of individuals. They always had some cockamamie scheme to get out of a jam. It never sounded like it would work, but of course it always did. Week after week, same time, same channel. Those were my boys. The Ford F-150 Super Crew. built Ford tough.
I lost my sight in 1986. When I decided to make furniture, some people thought I'd lost my sanity too. But in my mind's eye, I can see where I'm headed. Without Craftsman Professional, their most precise tools ever, I can't get there. I like to say I lost my sight, not my vision.
Sure, we could brag about it. How it's the fastest sport there is. Exploding in popularity. Truth is, it's the fastest growing sport in America. But more important than what it is where it's going. NASCAR is moving to NBC and TNT. NASCAR coming in July on NBC and TNT.
Moments ago with Tyrone Hill at the line, Kevin Ollie rubbing the foot of Jermaine Jones for luck. And it worked.
And they both react. You can rub it any time if we're going to get those results. Pacers with the ball, Etney in the ball game.
Little Tyus Edney in. With the clock winding down, here's Reggie Miller, desperate for a three. That one's off. And it looks like Philadelphia is coming out of Game 3 with a 2-1 lead. They're going to go back home to Philadelphia since Game 4 isn't until Wednesday, and they'll return here on Tuesday.
Well, the Pacers did some very good things to get themselves back in the ball game as the faithful start to file out of the building, and Aaron McKee coming to the line. And they've got to remember what they did well in that fourth quarter of play. If you're the Sixers, you got to say, guys, you know, we can't collapse in the fourth. We played a great three-quarter game, and then all of a sudden stop being the aggressor.
With about 2.5 minutes left, Reggie Miller's three-pointer tied the game at 82 and completed an 18-4 Pacer run. Since then, Philadelphia has outscored the Pacers 8-1, and all of the points are from the line. And McKee can tack on another one, which he does.
Big afternoon for Aaron McKee, 12 in the second half. And a timeout by Isaiah Thomas.
The name's Bond.
The return of the NBC Saturday movie at 8/7 Central.
James Bond.
GoldenEye, 8/7 Central. NBC tonight. NBC Sunday, 8/7 Central. Tommy Lee Jones, Wesley Snipes, and Robert Downey Jr. The network premiere of U.S. Marshals. Sunday, 8/7 Central on NBC.
Every day, more people are learning about the benefits of high-speed internet access. And with competing companies duking it out to offer high-speed service, we'll have lower prices and more choices, right? Well, not exactly. AT&T, the nation's largest cable company, competes under different rules than phone companies, and they want to keep it that way. But who could blame them? It's a great deal for them. Problem is, it's bad for us. It's time for Congress to pass the Tozen Jingle Bill and bring real competition for high-speed internet service.
We chose white because it was
clean
and simple.
I just wanted a splash of color. Kind of kooky, little pizzazz.
Different strokes for different folks, all at one store.
Went to Home Depot. Now I'm painting.
I can help you do that. I can show you how.
Okay.
Glidden for my girls' rooms.
See, you can do it. That's easy, yeah.
That's all there, right there.
I love Ralph Lauren. This looks good.
Thank you.
I'm so glad I went to Home Depot first.
The Home Depot, first in home improvement.
A hidden danger in eye laser surgery, Monday at 10.
Larry Brown's still one of the best coaches around at age 61. You played with him and against him in the old ABA, Snapper.
Yeah, and Larry Brown's always been a guy that's believed in the team and getting everybody to play well. And, you know, when he came to Philadelphia, his job was to find people that embodied his philosophy. He thinks he's got it now. He's still tight, though. You know, he doesn't like the way his team closed this game out, even though they have the lead.
After the timeout, here's Tyus Edney. Edney goes to the rack and lays it in with 9.6 seconds. And he's looking for Snow to foul him, which he does. Back to Larry Brown. I was talking about the new rules for next year with him, and he's generally in favor of them because he feels the game has to open up more. Running has to be encouraged. He likes some of the changes, but he would have added a couple more. He would have moved the three-point line in at least a little bit to allow long-range shooters to exploit zones better, and he'd go to the old ABA 30-second clock, because if you're going to allow zone defenses, and there are no illegal defenses as of next year, he feels teams would need more time to break defenses down, and they'd wind up taking better percentage shots with a 30-second clock, so that actually scoring might be higher because of better shot selection, tacking 6 seconds onto the clock. Those were Brown's suggestions.
Well, the key in that is better shot selection. We haven't seen that now. You speed the game up and they get layups as we're ready to close this one out. No, 1 of 2.
They let Rose go by. He lays it in with 2.3 seconds. It's a 5-point game.
2.3 seconds left. This is an inbound, and this one is over.
There it is. Rose fakes the Bruce Lee type move on Eric Snow, but there's Pat Croce, the owner of the Philadelphia 76ers. His team leaves Conseco Fieldhouse with a 2-1 lead in the best-of-5 series. We'll be joining the game between the Dallas Mavericks and the Utah Jazz after these messages. For Steve Jones and Andrea Joyce, I'm Bob Costas. So long from Indianapolis. You're watching the NBA on NBC.